Very pleasant good evening, everybody. Welcome to Hammonds Field in downtown Springfield, Missouri, as the Arkansas Razorbacks visit the Missouri State Bears. Corey, the Arkansas Razorbacks love where they are sitting in the SEC standings.
Well, it's obviously still early in the season, Mike, but yeah, the Razorbacks have come out of the gate red hot. 5-1 in league play already, 20-4 overall. And the Razorbacks play in that very difficult Western Division of the Southeastern Conference, but a great start for Dave Van Horn's club. Meanwhile, for Missouri State, Keith Gutton's team is in a place they haven't been in very often. They're in the bottom of the Missouri Valley Conference standings right now. Only 5 losing seasons in Gutton's 37-year career at Missouri State, but they still have a lot of games left to play.
Bears are 5-16. A lot of that has to do with strength of schedule.
Missouri State Bears have played the second toughest schedule in the country. Only Gonzaga has had more of a murderer's row to try and navigate through than have Missouri State. Then you see teams like Oregon and Oregon State, but it's all about improving for the conference run. Missouri State has played the best of the best leading up to the start of Missouri Valley Conference play.
Here's a take a look at the Arkansas batting order tonight. Martin at short. Kerstad will be in right field. Ezel at first, Fletcher in center, Goodhart the designated hitter, Kenley at second, Nesbitt at third, Plunkett the catcher, and Franklin in left field batting ninth. Defense for Keith Gutton's Missouri State Bears, Gia, Duffy, and Clayton in the outfield. At third base, Joey Pollock, Cole, Privatera, and Whetstone around the infield. Millis, the catcher, and freshman left-hander Ben Cruikshank on the mound tonight for Missouri State. Cruikshank, no wins, no losses, but a 10.38 ERA, 8 2/3 innings pitched, 9 hits, 13 runs, 10 earned, 6 strikeouts, but Corey, 13 walks as we kind of look at some of the comparison numbers tonight.
Well, and you see the numbers in favor of the Razorbacks tonight. 295 team batting average, 206 for Missouri State. You see the slugging numbers, and then the ERAs you mentioned right off the top of the show, Mike. As a team, Arkansas, that's a very good 3.2 team ERA. Missouri State slightly over a 7. And then the opponent's batting averages barely hitting 200 against the Razorbacks starters. So be interesting to see how it plays out in this one tonight as we are ready for first pitch.
Casey Martin, the Arkansas shortstop, will lead things off. He's hitting .243, has a team-high 5 home runs and 19 RBIs, and there is a called strike. Martin, 9 doubles, no triples, 5 home runs. Has scored a team-high 24 runs. Pitch from the lefty is a called strike on the outside corner. And quickly 0-2.
Martin bats from the right side, has started all 24 games so far this season for Dave Van Horn. Collecting at bat number 104 here as he fouls the next one up and out of play.
Key for Cruikshank is to throw strikes. We mentioned the 6 strikeouts, 13 walks in 8 2/3 innings.
Well, and you talk about the walks, that's been an issue up and down the pitching staff for Missouri State this year.
0-2 delivery. Ripped past the shortstop Hull out into left field.
That one hit sharply down the line at third. Joey Pollock, the National JUCO Player of the Year a season ago, makes a stab at it here. That went over by the shortstop and all the way out into left field. And the last thing you want to do, Mike, if you're a fan of Missouri State, is see the Arkansas Razorbacks come out each inning and get the leadoff man on.
Casey Martin, the 2018 Arkansas Gatorade Player of the Year with his 26th hit. And it brings in Heston Kerstad, who leads the Razorbacks with 33 hits this year, 33 for 100, hitting .330, 4 home runs, 16 driven in. And he swings at the first pitch, flies one out into left. Logan Gia to the warning track and makes the catch in front of the wall.
And this is not an everyday left fielder, Mike. Logan Gia came to Missouri State as a catcher. He and Drew Millis are incredible backstops for Missouri State. But Gia is such a dude. Keith Gutton wants him in the lineup every day. Couldn't get him the starts at center field, so he was the opening day starter in left field, and he looks like he's been out there for 3 seasons.
Trevor Ezel, a senior first baseman for Arkansas, a transfer from Southeast Missouri State. and has both Springfield connections and Northwest Arkansas connections. Trevor Ezell was a teammate and roommate of Ryan Rippey at Southeast Missouri State. Ryan Rippey played high school ball here at Springfield Kickapoo. His father, a successful coach at Springfield Kickapoo High School. Now down at Bentonville, Arkansas as head coach, and Ryan is one of his assistant coaches. So Ryan and Trevor Ezell not only teammates but roommates at
It's
SEMO.
a small world, man. It really is.
Pitch to Ezell, misses outside. Trevor hitting .322, 3 home runs, 15 driven in. 6 doubles, 1 triple, 3 home runs, 10 of his 28 hits for extra bases. Martin at first, 1 on, 1 out, no score here in the first. Throw over by Cruikshank.
Early in the season, Mike, you mentioned the walks for Ben Cruikshank. The other problem for the Missouri State pitching staff was they were hitting a lot of batters. Now that they've corrected. They had hit a number of batters the first road trip of the year to Texas for a tournament down at Texas State. They fixed that. Now they just have to figure out how to stop giving up the free passes as the next pitch from Cruikshank is fouled off.
Ezell out of Bryant, Arkansas. Hit .516 his junior year. His junior year at SEMO, started 7 times at second base before a back injury ended his season. That one almost got away from Cruikshank as Millis goes way outside the batter's box to make the catch, and there's some numbers for Cruikshank.
Well, this isn't the first time that Drew Millis has caught Cruikshank. They were high school teammates over at Bellevue East High School. Cruikshank, 6'4", a freshman, a long, lean left-hander. He can touch upper 80s, low 90s with his fastball, has a nice changeup as well as a curveball. But again, when I talked to pitching coach Paul Evans, he said exactly what you did, Mike. Got to have more strikes, got to cut down on the walks.
He started at Oral Roberts March the 13th and lasted just 3 1/3 innings. 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 2 strikeouts, and 5 walks in 3 1/3.
And the walks, they always come back to bite you.
Fastball outside.
Saw good velocity on that pitch that time by Cruikshank, but Drew Millis, for a second time against this hitter, has had to come up out of the crouch and stab one to save his pitcher from issuing a wild pitch and allowing the runner to move up on the base paths.
3-1 delivery. Inside ball 4, and the Hogs have 2 on, 1 out. There is the first walk allowed by Cruikshank. Brings in the Arkansas cleanup hitter, Dominic Fletcher. Junior center fielder batting .303, 4 home runs, 18 driven in. Leads the Razorbacks in doubles with 11 this year. What a gorgeous night, by the way, on this Tuesday, March 26th. Sun shining, about 60 degrees. I mowed my yard for the first time this year.
Oh, you are such a better man than I am. I need to get out and do that. Wind out of the north at about 6 miles an hour, and a great crowd on hand here. A lot of maroon and a lot of red.
About a 2.5-hour trip from Fayetteville to Springfield. And ball 1 to Dominic Fletcher. It's been a mainstay in the Arkansas program. Junior out of Cypress, California, was a member of the SEC All-Defensive Team in 2018. A member of the All-Freshman team 2 years ago. Fletcher swings, fly ball into right. That should be playable for the right fielder, Clayton. He'll go back in front of the warning track, battles the sun, makes the catch for the second out. Tagging at second is Martin. He goes into third. He's there with 2 away.
Fletcher sent that one a long way, but not all the way to what used to be called Homer's Landing beyond the right field wall and into the net, where there's even some fans out enjoying the game out there. That may be the one place, Mike, where there's sun to be enjoyed, as most of the ballpark and the seats you see there are already engulfed in the shadows.
2 on, 2 out for Matt Goodhart, the Razorback designated hitter, hitting .353 with 7 RBIs, 18 for 51, and 5 of his 18 hits are doubles. Another left-handed batter. Pitch taken for a strike. Goodhart out of Magnolia, Arkansas. San Jacinto Community College in 2018, played in 58 games and had a nice batting average of .355. Pitch is outside. The runner at first started to go, and that drew Millis out of the catcher's position in a hurry.
Got to watch the Hogs on the base paths. 38 stolen bases so far this season, just for the 9 starters that they've put out on the diamonds today. These guys, once they get on the paces, they like to run.
Yeah, they're 44 for 51 as a team. Their opponents are 9 for 18. What a difference. Pitch misses for a ball, and it's 2-1.
Well, the starting 9 that Keith Gutton's putting out on the field today has combined for, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stolen bases this year. So the Razorbacks like to run hog wild, if you will, once they get out there.
Cruikshank jamming Goodhart, who pops it up, and drifting back as the shortstop Mason Hull will make the catch, and the Hogs fail to score in the first inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, a walk, 2 runners left on base. After 1/2 inning, Arkansas nothing. Missouri State coming up. Arkansas failed to score in the first inning. The Missouri State Bears will send their batters to the plate as we see home plate umpire Wayne Harris, joined by Mark Hutchinson at first and Sean Arthur over at third base. Patrick Wicklander on the mound for the Razorbacks, and he'll face this Missouri State lineup tonight. Logan Gia plays left field and bats first. Drew Millis is the catcher, Pollock at third base. Katowski the designated hitter. Clayton hits fifth and plays right. Hull at shortstop. Whetstone at first base. Duffy will play center field, and John Privatera will hit ninth and play second base for the Bears. The defense for the Razorbacks: Nesbitt, Martin, Kinley, and Ezel around the infield. Franklin, Fletcher, Kerstad in the outfield. Zach Plunkett, the catcher, and Patrick Wicklander on the mound for Arkansas, a freshman left-hander, just like Ben Cruikshank for the Bears. Wicklander, a 2-1 record, a 4.84 ERA, 22 in the third innings pitched, 14 hits, 12 runs, all earned, 32 strikeouts, a good number, and 13 walks. Opponent's batting average against him just 182. Logan Gia leads it off for Missouri State. And again, you look at this starting lineup for the Bears, their leading hitter among the starters tonight is in the number 9 slot, and that is Privatera, who's hitting just .247. Logan Gia hitting just .209. Does have 4 home runs and 14 driven in.
Now, the good news for Missouri State is playing at home, and it's a small sample size, Mike, but they've played 4 home games. Their road batting average is 179 as a team, but at home they're hitting .263 as Gia makes contact on the second pitch.
Great play by Nesbitt at third to stretch by the first baseman Ezel for the out. Wow, that was nice on both ends by Arkansas.
A lesser third baseman, and this one may have been Olayed all the way past him. Gia, good contact, bounces twice, but a fantastic stab by Nesbitt. Turn and fire in plenty of time, and that's a big-time stretch for Ezel.
1 out for Drew Millis, hitting .224, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, 13 for 58 at the plate, has 4 doubles. That's a team high, tied for the team lead with 1 triple and 2 home runs, and he takes a strike.
Millis, one of 2 preseason All-Americans for the Missouri State baseball team. You see the junior out of Swansea, Illinois, a switch hitter. He and Connor Seckler, the only 2 preseason All-Americans in the entire Missouri Valley Conference.
Next delivery is just off the outer edge. Drew Millis has reached safely in 8 straight games. Keith Gutton stays in the dugout when the Bears are batting. Matt Lawson over at third base. Corey Hassel at first. Fastball called strike. Keith now 37th year, 1,264 wins. The numbers for Wicklander out of San Jose, California.
Product of Valley Christian High School. Was ranked the number 30 left-hander in the nation by Perfect Game. Number 5 left-hander in the state of California.
A called strike 3. Millis down on strikes. For the 22nd time this year, and again, that's numbers that Keith told us before the game. Just got to keep battling. You got to start making more contact, offensively and defensively. Pitchers have to throw strikes. Batters need to get hits, and the errors have to come down on the defensive side. It's just a combination of all of the above that have contributed to this 5-16 start. Here is Joey Pollock. He looks at ball 1 inside.
Breaking pitch that time from Wicklander here in a lefty-righty matchup. The Bears have 3 left-handed bats in the lineup if you don't count the switch-hitting Drew Millis, but they all come in the 7, 8, 9 spots.
Pollock with a big swing and a foul. Began his collegiate career at South Carolina. I've talked about joining the Bears after being the Junior College Division I Baseball Player of the Year for Jefferson College. He had 32 home runs and drove in 107 runs. Holy cow.
Yeah, just had a .459 batting average and a .991 slugging percentage. Mike, he was all right at Jeffco.
Yeah, his dad played baseball at UCF professionally for 6 years in the New York Yankees farm system. Count now 2-1.
Nobody's talking about UCF right now, are they? Not in basketball, anyway. I mean, just 7'6" Taco Fall, nearly knocked off the #1 overall seed March Madness Duke. They got a little bit of run this weekend.
A little bit of run, swing and a foul. Man, Pollock is just big old arms, big body at the plate. 6'3", 220.
He can muscle it up, and he can get it out of most ballparks. But Mike, 29 strikeouts so far this season. He's trying to make an adjustment, and it is a big adjustment to go from JUCO to Division I baseball and the schedule that Missouri State has played the first 22 games of the season.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Wicklander. The Bears go 1-2-3. After 1 inning, Arkansas nothing, Missouri State nothing. You're watching the Valley on ESPN. Mike McClure, Corey Riggs, Hammonds Field in Springfield, Missouri. 8th-ranked Arkansas taking on Missouri State. No score after 1. Razorbacks will send their 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Face Ben Cruikshank here in the 2nd inning. Corey, not a good start for the Bears. 2 strikeouts among the 3 outs. And O'Keefe is trying to tell his team to get contact. Great job of pitching by Patrick Wicklander in the 1st for the Hogs.
Tonight's the Bears' 23rd game of the season. They have used 15 different lineups so far, and that tells you that even with a veteran coach like Keith Gutton, this team is searching for the right lineup, searching for the right composition to find success this season.
Kenley with a swing and a miss, and he's down in the count 0-2. Jack Kenley hitting .303, 4 home runs, 18 RBIs, 23 for 76 at the plate, 2 doubles, 2 triples, tied for the team lead, and 4 home runs. And he leads the Razorbacks along with Casey Martin, scoring 24 runs. Curve from Cruikshank misses, and it's 1-2.
Cruikshank's gone with a healthy dose of off-speed pitches and breaking balls here to Jack Kenley, the starting 2nd baseman. See if he dials up a fastball here, but he sticks with the breaking ball, and that one didn't miss by much.
Kenley made a career-high 43 appearances last year with 16 starts, 10 of those in conference play. He hit just .222 at 10 RBIs. Fastball is swung on and missed for strike 3.
First strikeout of the contest for Ben Cruikshank. So getting off to a better start here in inning number 2 with that breaking ball low and away. Cruikshank gets the first strikeout of the game, and started the 1st inning with a leadoff single to Casey Martin. So maybe getting a little dialed in. Here's the Missouri State freshman.
Jacob Nesbitt, the 3rd baseman for the Hogs, steps in and swings and misses for strike 1. Nesbitt hitting .346, 1 home run, 18 driven in. Out of Coppell, Texas, Coppell High School. He redshirted a year ago. Ranked number 31 in the state of Texas by perfect game, and the number 4 ranked shortstop. Another big swing and a miss.
Cruikshank and Millis have gotten into a little bit of a groove now, Mike, and I think maybe it's not just about what you're pitching, but what you're pitching to who, and making the right decisions right now against these opposing Hog hitters.
0-2 delivery. Now 1-2.
Mentioned the perfect game rankings for a number of players here in the 1st inning and a half or so. Ben Cruikshank was the #1 left-handed pitcher in the state of Illinois a year ago.
Foul ball over by the first base dugout. 9 College World Series appearances for the Razorbacks, including the runner-up a year ago. And Dave Van Horn spoke with us at length about the ending a year ago and trying to make a positive out of a negative here in 2019. And obviously the Hogs off to a great start at 20-4. Another ground ball, this one to the left of the 3rd base bag. 30 NCAA tournament appearances. Dave Van Horn versus Missouri State, 18-9 overall here at Hammons Field. Dave Van Horn is 7-2 against the Bears. 1-2 delivery. Changeup is swung on and missed for strike 3.
Talking to pitching coach Paul Evans before the game, Mike, he said this may be Cruikshank's best pitch, his go-to pitch. That time he goes off speed with the change, and Plunkett is Nesbitt. It was all sorts of turned around on that one, just like I was with his name, well out in front.
4 in a row set down by Cruikshank, and it brings in the Arkansas catcher Zach Plunkett, who's got just 23 plate appearances this year, 5 for 23, hitting .217, does have 1 home run and 4 RBIs. And just outside for ball 1. Dave Van Horn commenting on this 20-4 start. Hogs have been fortunate in staying healthy. I know this 1, 2, 3, 4 positions in the batting order have stayed the same since game 1, with Martin, Kerstad, Ezell, and Fletcher manning those slots. There's a called strike.
Now, consistency leads to success, especially early on the season in the non-conference portion of your schedule. That's what the Bears haven't had to this point in the season, and that's what the Razorbacks have had in kind.
1-1. Plunkett out of Hurst, Texas, appeared in 7 games as a redshirt junior last year. That pitch misses. Transfer from TCU, the 2015-16 season, 19 starts in 39 games for the Horned Frogs. His home run last year came against Kentucky. There's a foul back. And it was a pinch hit home run.
You rattled off Dave Van Horn's record against Missouri State. While he has the edge in about every category, I don't think there's very many that will forget what these two teams have done to one another in the postseason, though.
Base hit to right field by Plunkett. The 2-out single keeps the inning alive. Dave Van Horn in January was honored, being selected to the Arkansas Hall of Fame. Normally that ceremony is about this time of year, but when he was inducted, they had this ceremony just for him in January. He said it was kind of nice. He got to be speaking for about 50 minutes, and he had a video done in advance to thank his family, because he said emotionally just didn't know if he could get through that doing it live.
I've seen enough Missouri Sports Hall of Fame events to know how hard that can be, as the first pitch is fouled off here by Christian Franklin.
Franklin, a .296 hitter, 3 home runs, and he's got the team lead for the Razorbacks in RBIs with 25. Just a freshman.
And there's freshmen all over the field for both teams. 2 starting pitchers tonight are both freshmen.
That was hard but foul into the seats here at Hammons Field.
Nesbitt, a freshman in the starting lineup. Franklin, a freshman in the starting lineup for Arkansas. Mason Hull, the shortstop for Missouri State, a freshman. So no lack of underclassmen getting quite a bit of playing time for either club.
Pitch is high. Franklin was ranked as the top player in the state of Missouri by Perfect Game, the number 29 outfielder in the nation. He's from Rockhurst High School.
Former Hawklet. I always want to call them Hawks, but the university is Hawks, the high school Hawklets.
Breaking ball swung on and missed, strike 3. Cruikshank, 3 strikeouts here in the second inning. Arkansas struggling at the plate as well here in the second. We'll move to the bottom of the second. Still no score. You're watching the Valley on ESPN. Bottom of the second inning here in Springfield. Arkansas and Missouri State scoreless. The 85th meeting all time between the two schools. Arkansas leads the series 56-28. Keith Gutton against the Razorbacks 19-34. We told you Dave Van Horn all time against the Bears 18-9. And see the number there at the bottom. Bears are 13-21 versus the Hogs here in Springfield.
2 of the best baseball conferences in America. On top of that, the SEC currently sitting number 1 in college baseball's RPI index. Missouri Valley Conference, number 5. In between them, the Pac-12, the Big 12, and the ACC. Ryan Kreklow from the Missouri State basketball team. Ross Owens as well, taking in the baseball game. One of the things that Missouri State does as well as anybody, Mike, is their sports teams support one another. You know, the Missouri State swim team was out for the first ever Missouri State beach volleyball contest this weekend over just outside of Hammond Student Center. And tonight got some basketball bears in the house to support the baseball team.
Both of these respective schools' women's basketball programs are still playing. Arkansas in the WNIT, they'll be at home at Bud Walton Arena on Thursday. And wow, the Missouri State Lady Bears in the Sweet 16 headed to Chicago to play Stanford late Saturday afternoon as they had a big win last night at Iowa State.
It's deja vu all over again. Party like it's 2001, I guess.
Dakota Katowski leading it off for Missouri State, hitting .300 this year, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. Swings at a pitch down and in, and it's 0-2.
He is big, Mike, 6'5", 225. When I talked to Keith Gutton about what Dakota brings to the plate, he talked about bat speed, the exit velocity off the end of the bat, but he ends up doing that quite often, which is striking out.
He just got sliced up by a great pitch from Patrick Wicklander.
He had turned all the way out on that left forward foot. He was all sorts of turned around that time.
One away for the right fielder Colin Clayton, the junior, hitting .214, 1 home run, 3 RBIs. Yeah, Kelly Harper and the Missouri State Lady Bears, a number 11 seed, defeating DePaul, a 6 seed, and Iowa State, the 3 seed. Yeah, so the 11 seed still dancing in the Sweet 16.
Their third top 25 ranked team in a row that they've defeated, going back to defeating 21 ranked Drake in the Missouri Valley Conference Championship as Clayton fouls this one off.
He had a good cut. Last time the Lady Bears were in the Sweet 16, 2001, when a lady by the name of Jackie Stiles led that Lady Bear team and got to the Final Four in St. Louis in 01. Clayton C. out of Edwardsville, Illinois.
Transfer from John A. Logan College.
Wicklander's pitch just outside.
Colin Clayton on the Bears' first trip out to San Diego, got to play a couple of games in front of his grandma who lives out in Southern California. She made it over to San Diego and San Diego State to take in a couple of those games.
Colin's dad coached basketball at Southern Illinois, St. Louis, and Blackburn College. Clayton earlier this year, a 7-game hitting streak, February 16th through the 27th. 3 balls, 1 strike, the count.
He was the opening day starting center fielder as well as batting in the leadoff position in game 1 of the season against the Nevada Wolfpack.
Big swing and a miss, 3-2.
Clayton has got a lot of speed, Mike. He's the type of player that the Bears would love to get on the bases and then knock around with bigger bats behind him with names like Ben Whetstone and Jack Duffy.
Payoff pitch, line foul. Bears have won 40 of their last 57 regular season non-conference home games over the last 4+ years. Missouri State not coming into this game with a ton of momentum as they were swept out in California this past weekend. Swing and a miss for strike 3.
The 4th straight strikeout now for Patrick Wicklander as he fanned Millicent Pollock to end the first. Now has gotten Katowski and Clayton both swinging here with 2 down in the bottom of the second.
Bears have dropped 5 in a row. They beat Oklahoma 11-8 in their opener March the 15th, and a wild come-from-behind win.
One of the biggest comebacks in Missouri State baseball history, and kind of one of those, Mike, that if you're checking your phone and you're looking at Twitter and you're like, well, not much reason to check back in on that one. That was when I woke up the next morning and went, they did what?
I know.
Holy cow.
But since then, they lost the last 2 at OU and then were swept at Cal Santa Barbara. In Sunday's game, the Bears committed 7 errors, which ties the most ever under a Keith Gutton coach team. Pitches outside. 1-1.
First time since 2005 that they had committed that many errors in a single game. Mike, 5 of them were on the outfield. 2 on the catcher.
Wicklander takes a little too much time, and time is called.
Mason Hull, big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
The Bears starting shortstop taking over for Jeremy Ironman.
Breaking ball catches the inside corner.
Ironman drafted by the Oakland Athletics organization a season ago. Back-to-back years, the Bears have had big-time draft players taken.
Effingham High last year, he hit .571 with 7 home runs. We'll push this one foul down the right field corner. 37 RBIs in just 28 games. He earned first-team All-State honors in Illinois. Again, just the youth for this Bears team. Gutowski, Hull, starting pitcher, Wicklander, all freshmen tonight. Or sorry, Cruikshank, excuse me, all freshmen.
Wicklander's a freshman
That's
too.
True.
You're not wrong.
True. 1-2 delivery. Speed, swing and a miss, strike 3. That is 5 straight strikeouts for Patrick Wicklander. The offensive woes continue for Missouri State. 6 up, 6 down. We'll move to the third. Arkansas and Missouri State, no score.
Scoreless baseball here in Springfield, Missouri, as we move to the top of the third inning here between the Arkansas Razorbacks out of the SEC and the Missouri Valley Conference Missouri State Bears. Ben Cruikshank back up on top of the mound for another inning of work. It'll be back to the top of the order for Dave Van Horn's ball club. Casey Martin to lead things off here in the top of inning number 3. Taking all the way, and Cruikshank misses for ball 1. Martin had a single in his first plate appearance of the game against Cruikshank, and the big lefty winds and fires again and misses off the plate for ball 2. Martin started the season on a 9-game hick streak before it was snapped in the season series finale against Stony Brook. Cruikshank wants a fresh baseball here. Mike Martin went 3 for 6 on opening day against Eastern Illinois. It's a pretty good day for most people. That was still 1 hit under his career high for a single game. Fastball inside, misses, and quickly it's 3-0. Martin digs back in from the right side. Righty-lefty matchup. Cruikshank grooves this one over the plate for a called strike to make it 3-1. Heston Kerstad in the on-deck circle. Nice velocity on that pitch that time as Cruikshank, who missed the strike zone with 3 straight pitches, has battled back to a full count with 2 well-located fastballs. This one lifted up out into right field. Clayton racing back to the warning track with plenty of room. He has it in his glove for out number 1.
Casey Martin homered on the second pitch of Sunday's game at Alabama, the first Razorback to lead off a game with a home run since Eric Cole did it against LSU May 4th, 2018, and that one just about left the ballpark as it got to the warning track.
That'll bring up Heston Kerstad, the sophomore. He flew out to the left fielder Logan Gia his first time up. Lefty-lefty matchup, and that breaking ball paints the black for strike 1.
This is the 7th straight year the Hogs and Bears have played at least one time.
Drew Millis trying to frame one for his Bellevue East High School teammate, but no love from home plate umpire Wayne Harris. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. That breaking ball doesn't break back over the plate. So quickly 2-1. Heston Kerstad should look over the left shoulder of Missouri State head coach Keith Gutton. Hit a 2-run homer on opening day against Eastern Illinois. This time he grounds it to Whetstone and almost beats the pitcher back to first base as Cruikshank maybe a little slow in getting over there, and Heston Kerstad, Mike, wasting no time sprinting down the chalk.
This was awfully close at first by the time Cruikshank found the bag, but again, clear that he got there before Kerstad.
So 2 up and 2 down here in the top of inning number 3, and that'll bring up the number 3 hitter, Trevor Ezell. Razorbacks starting first baseman, bats from the right side, and the first pitch bounces in the dirt for ball 1. Mike, we've mentioned quite a bit about both head coaches, Keith Van Horn and Keith Gutton. It is a staggering number of wins when you combine these two men's careers.
Well, Dave Van Horn, 31st year overall, 1,248 wins. Keith Gutton's 37th year, 1,264. I mean, these guys just see baseball differently than all of us. I mean, the way we watch baseball and what they see in the sport of baseball, there's a reason these guys are successful.
Fastball misses in that time. Cruikshank falls behind in the count once again, 3-0 to Ezell. He walked his first time up. Fastball over the heart of the plate for strike 1, and we saw this just a moment ago. But Ezell gave up a 3-0 count, then battled back to a full count, and eventually got the Razorback hitter retired. This one bounces toward Hull at short. He has it, plenty of time, throws to Whetstone at first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Bears. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base as Ben Cruikshank and company face the minimum here in the top of the 3rd inning. We're still scoreless as we head to the bottom of inning number 3. Great crowd on hand here at Hammonds Field. College baseball in full swing. We're just 2 days away from the opening day of Major League Baseball.
In the United States.
In the United States. I'm not going to count a couple of games in Japan. I'm sorry. I'm a traditionalist. And I also believe it should be a national holiday. Corey Riggs and Mike McClure here with you on the Valley on ESPN Plus tonight. You see Connor Nolan already going to a new pitcher after a couple of good innings from Wicklander.
I'd say good innings. 6 up, 6 down, five strikeouts.
Obviously, maybe he was on a little bit of a pitch limit, and now you see the numbers on Connor Nolan.
4.7 ERA, 23 innings pitched, 17 strikeouts, 8 walks.
Well, you don't see a hat like that every day, Mike. So Nolan to work against the 7, 8, 9 hitters in the Missouri State batting order, beginning with Big Ben Whetstone, the Missouri State starting first baseman. Whetstone led the Bears in home runs a season ago with 9. This year, the power numbers have not been what they were a year ago. Whetstone, without a home run yet this year, does have 2 doubles and 6 RBIs. And he takes the first pitch from Nolan. Ball 1. So a short but very successful start for Patrick Wicklander. Next offering from Nolan misses for ball 2.
Whetstone a team high 11 walks.
He hit that one hard, and if there was anybody warming up in the Razorback bullpen, they would have scattered as he plants that one.
6'6", 245.
I do call him Big Ben, not just as a play on words for the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, and the left-hander goes the opposite way. That one is hooking foul. It'll be a souvenir for a young man racing up the berm there, right in front of the Southwest Baptist University sign. Not a lot of kids out there today, but everybody likes to get a baseball to take home. Doesn't matter what your age. See if Whetstone can straighten that out here with the count 2-2 between he and Nolan. That one fouled off, and we'll go again. Whetstone a 181 batting average so far this season for the junior. His 73rd at bat of the season. With 13 hits, he scored 5 runs.
Connor Nolan, a freshman out of Greenwood, Arkansas. A .45 ERA over his final 2 years of high school.
A .45? There's no numbers in front of the point?
Nope.
Just a 0? Nolan delivers with the fastball. That one goes low again. Good job by Zach Plunkett to stop it.
His senior year in 2018, 10-0, 4 earned runs in 66 and 2/3 innings, 123 strikeouts, 14 walks.
This one hit hard to the second baseman. Kinley up with it and over to first for out number 1. So far, the 2 Razorback pitchers have faced the minimum to this point in the game. As you see, this one well hit by Whetstone, but right at Jack Kinley. And Mike, when you're struggling and you're trying to find runs and you're trying to find wins, there's something to be said about hit it where they ain't. And right now the Bears seem to be making good contact, but there's always somebody standing in the path of the ball.
Things will change. It's a long, long season.
4-3 on the put out of Ben Whetstone. And that'll bring Jack Duffy to the plate for the first time. Duffy, one of 3 straight left-handed hitters in the bottom of the lineup for Keith Gutton. Duffy, the Bears' starting center fielder. When the season began, Jack was the everyday starter in right field, started the season in right field. Since then, he and Clayton have kind of swapped spots. This one just kind of loops its way over second base, and Casey Martin, the shortstop, is there. And there's 2 down here in the home half of inning number 3.
It's 8 up, 8 down for Missouri State.
So that'll bring the Bears' best batting average to the dish now. That is the starting second baseman, John Privatera. Coming to Missouri State, a family affair for John's family. His older sister was a part of the Missouri State women's swimming and diving team. John now in his 3rd year with the baseball Bears. He looks at that first pitch from Nolan, off the plate, away from the lefty for ball 1. See the former Lee Summit West Titan, he and Logan Gia, we mentioned. They both played high school ball together. Drew Millis and the Bears starter Ben Cruikshank both played together at Bellevue East. You see Privatera's numbers on the season so far, that 247 average. He's got a 2-0 count. This one hard hit toward right field, but no problem for Heston Kjerstad. So it is 9 up and down so far as the Razorbacks continue to hold the Bears' bats in check. We are through 3 and scoreless here in Springfield between Arkansas and Missouri State. Great night to be at the ballpark here in downtown Springfield, Missouri. Looking live into some of the luxury box that are being occupied tonight here at Hammonds Field. As Missouri State hosts the Arkansas Razorbacks, scoreless as we head to the top of inning number 4 between the Hogs and the Bears. Ben Cruikshank back out for another inning of work. Good start in the contest for him against the number 8 team in the nation from Fayetteville. He'll work against the 4, 5, and 6 hitters this half inning, beginning with Dominic Fletcher. Fletcher from the left side pulls his chin back a little bit. That pitch misses upstairs for ball 1.
Fletcher tied for the SEC lead in doubles with 11. All 3 of his hits against the Texas Longhorns were doubles. Hogs split their 2 games with number 9 Texas, beating the Longhorns 11-4 in the first game, losing 7-6 in the second.
He's got the count in his favor, 2-0. Cruikshank tries to put that one over the plate, but misses again.
Those were the first 2 games of this current 6-game road stand. Hogs then won at Alabama 12-3 in game 1, lost 10-0 in the second game, and won 10-2 in the finale. Playing here against Missouri State tonight, and they'll head to Fayetteville to play the Ole Miss Rebels this weekend.
Cruikshank finds a strike there to make it 3-1, trying to avoid walking the second Arkansas batter of the game, and he didn't walk him, Mike, but it hit him. So a free pass to Fletcher, who leads off the top half of the inning. Actually, that one just underneath him. I thought it may have grazed him there. A walk nonetheless here as number 24 will take a few strides and take his spot over at first base. Second walk of the game issued by Cruikshank. He walked Izell back in the top of the first inning. 1 on and nobody out here for the designated hitter for the Razorbacks, Matt Goodhart. Goodhart stares at strike one. Goodhart 0 for 1 today so far. He popped out to the shortstop hole in his first plate appearance. Cruikshank a long look at first, and the next pitch fouled off the end of the bat of Goodhart.
Interesting home non-conference games for the Razorbacks in April, including April 2nd hosting Little Rock and April 16th hosting Arkansas Pine Bluff. Dave Van Horn was talking to us before the ball game about those non-conference games.
And that's not something that they normally do, Mike.
No.
I say when a lot of states you see teams trying to play against one another. Obviously, Missouri State and Mizzou has been a long-standing interstate rivalry. But in the state of Arkansas, that hasn't always been the case. Cruikshank misses low and away for ball 2, paying quite a bit of attention to Fletcher over at first. Fletcher not a real threat to steal. He has 1 stolen base on just 2 attempts this season. So Goodhart waits, keeps the bat on his shoulder, and that pitch misses to even the count at 2-2. Goodhart went 2 for 4 in his first career start for the Razorbacks against Eastern Illinois back on February 16. Another slow throw over to Whetstone at first. He provided the winning pinch hit single to defeat Western Illinois in 8 innings back on March 13th. He waits here with a 2-2 count. This one well struck. Gonna drop in. No. Colin Clayton outraces everybody and slides in and makes the grab. Colin Clayton with a big head of steam coming in from right field.
The ball hung up just enough off the bat of Goodhart to allow Clayton to make a play.
I thought it was going to drop in and be one of those Bermuda triangles. You had 3 Bears converging. I wasn't sure that anyone was going to make it in time, but Colin Clayton's got some wheels. So 1 on, 1 out. The runner at first, Fletcher. This is Jack Kinley. Kinley, one of the 3 strikeout victims so far tonight for Ben Cruikshank, who misses with his first offering, 1-0. Kinley, the junior, swings and fouls this one off over toward the berm again, past the Chick-fil-A sign, and heck, that one even caromed off the basketball goal. Not a lot of basketball being played over there, even though it is March Madness.
Coming up in April for Missouri State, they host Mizzou April the 16th, go to Columbia April 23rd, and Arkansas has already played the Missouri Tigers and swept Mizzou in a 3-game series in Fayetteville.
Cruikshank winds and fires. This one popped up on the infield. Pollock calls everybody else away, and the Bears' third baseman makes it for out number 2. So they've gotten Goodhart to fly out to right. Now Kinley pops out to the third baseman, Joey Pollock. That'll bring Jacob Nesbitt to the plate.
Earlier this month, Arkansas beating Missouri 2-0, 4-3, and 3-2. All close ball games.
So Fletcher takes a couple of strides away from the bag at first. Nesbitt 0 for 1 today with the strikeout. Free swinging at the first pitch from Ben Cruikshank. 0-1. Nesbitt recorded a career high 3 hits against number 9 Texas back on March 20th. Scored 2 runs on the 19th. The game before that, a season high as well. 1 ball, 1 strike now with 2 away as Cruikshank tries to work his way through the top of inning number 4. Cruikshank kicks, fires, off-speed pitch. Had him fooled that time. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Razorbacks have gotten a base runner on for the 3rd time in 4 innings, but have not been able to advance. Dominic Fletcher after the walk. Now the throw over to first. Whetstone stepped off the bag. That could have been close, but Fletcher not leading himself that far away from first, able to dive back in quickly.
Gotta get there on a pick. All right.
Nesbitt with a team-high 11-game hit streak. Still looking for his first hit, and he's not going to find it here as Cruikshank punches him out. The backwards K on the scorecard for the freshman, who has now fanned 4 of the hitters of the number 8 Arkansas Razorbacks. See the emotion in Ben Cruikshank as he walks off. This is the Valley on ESPN.
Well, the windows still look good.
Temperature starting to dip down just a little bit below 60 degrees here. 59 degrees as the sun begins to set in Springfield. A great baseball game brewing between the Bears and the Razorbacks. No score as we head to the bottom of inning number 4, and the Bears bats looking for their first hit of the game.
Boy, this Arkansas-Missouri State relationship really goes back to the days of Norm DeBryan and Bill Rowe. Bill Rowe, the longtime baseball coach. There have only been 2 baseball coaches at Missouri State all these years. Bill Rowe, Keith Gutton. And then when Bill became athletic director, then you look at, obviously, his relationship with the late Frank Broyles. Again, it was Arkansas that came here to open up Hammond Center in basketball, and then they came here to open up JQH Arena. Marshall Denton, the new Arkansas pitcher. 8 appearances. Look at the ERA, 1.0. 9 innings, 7 strikeouts, just 1 walk.
The 3rd pitcher used so far by the Razorbacks. This is the only midweek game that they have to worry about this week. Student section enjoying themselves here inside Hammonds Field. Coach Van Horn told us, Mike, that they've been playing a couple of midweek games before a 3-game set for what seems like the entirety of the season. This is almost like an off week, only having a game on a Tuesday night.
Haven't had to worry about weather, thankfully.
So Connor Noland gets his 1 inning of work. Denton will face the top of the Bears batting order, beginning with Logan Gia. Gia, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs, in a good run in the middle of March. Take strike 1 here from Denton. Gia has played or started in about 4 different positions now for Missouri State. As there's a little rare miscommunication between the battery for Arkansas. Gia has started now at left field, catcher, designated hitter. Keith Gutton told me he thinks he's played in right field, and I saw him play at second base the other day.
Wow.
So maybe 5 different positions, taking me back to the days of Jose Akindo, the St. Louis Cardinals. He bounces this one toward the shortstop. Martin whips it over to first base for out number 1. The secret weapon, Mike, Jose Akindo.
A fan favorite in St. Louis.
Still is to this day as Gia grounds one to Martin. Put out 6-3. The Bears still in search of their first hit, and it might come off the bat of the switch hitter from Swansea, Illinois, Drew Millis. Had a great summer in the Cape Cod League playing for the Wareham Gatemen. Helped them win a Cape Cod championship. He swings at the first pitch. Slow roller to third. Millis, can he beat it out? He does, because the throw was offline. It drug Ezel off the bag. It was thrown to his right, and it'll be a base hit for the Bears catcher. The no-hitter is broken up. Maybe not in the fashion you'd like it to, but a hit's a hit, right?
You know, sometimes you want to square it up. Sometimes you want to miss-hit. That was a good miss-hit.
Or as my dad always used to say, sometimes I'd rather be lucky than good. That time Millis got a little bit of luck. And he is the first Bears base runner of the night. That'll bring up Joey Pollock. Pollock tries to check his swing, but does not. Strike one. Pollock 0 for 1 so far tonight. He struck out to end the bottom of the first inning. Millis gets his lead away from first. Denton lets him. Breaking ball just away from the right-handed hitting Pollock for strike two. Quickly 0-2. Like the speed at which Denton works, he's not wasting any time. Pollock reaches out, may have hit into a double play here. 4-6. No, Pollock legs it out. So they get Drew Millis, the lead runner, at second. And Pollock switches places with him, taking over at first. But now there's 2 away.
Umpires are going to go maybe take
to
a
the monitor.
Look.
Oh, looks good from here, and I don't know that they're going to see a different angle than that, but this is the world that we live in now, Mike. Instant replay has permeated almost every level of sport, including college baseball. We've seen it in action at the College World Series. It has expanded this year, this being the first year that it's really been used at Missouri State University at Hammons Field. One of the first games that was played here this season. I saw a safer out call at first base overturned after a video review.
So is that coming from the Arkansas dugout at a request, or is that?
Each coach is allowed 2 video review requests up into the 7th inning. Anything after that,
he's safe.
He's safe. But we don't get to make that call, so we'll wait on our officials. Again, our home plate umpire tonight, Wayne Harris, along with Sean Arthur and Mark Hutchison at third and first, respectively. But each coach gets like 2 red hankies, 2 challenge flags, if you will. But they've got to use them before the 7th. Anything after the 7th that becomes the umpire's discretion, and he is safe, says Wayne Harris. And we saw a couple of different angles from the truck and knew that was going to be the case. So Pollock reaches on a fielder's choice. Millis retired as the Razorbacks infield tried to turn the 4-6-3 double play.
So Marshall Denton back on the mound with 1 on, 2 out. Right, scoreboard still says 1 out.
I know. It's wrong.
Okay. Marshall Denton out of BB, Arkansas. Red shirt in 2018. Appeared in 8 games in 2017. One of those in conference play. That was against Auburn. In 2017, the earned run average at 5.23.
Second different Bear of the night aboard safely here after the Millis single, and Pollock reaches on a fielder's choice. This is the DH, Dakota Katowski. He swings through the first offering from Marshall Denton. Pollock, the National JUCO Player of the Year, gets his lead away from first. This one hard hit, nearly decapitates Denton. And the Bears have got something going here in the bottom of the 4th inning. A little 2-out rally with runners on at first and second. Katowski just crushes this one right back through the box.
I mean, thankfully that did not hit Marshall Denton. Can you imagine the speed of that ball coming off the bat?
And he gets that bat around and through the zone in a hurry. The 7th hit of the season for the Bears freshman. That'll bring up, well, the scheduled hitter here is Colin Clayton, Mike. We may have a pinch hitter in the form of Logan Rogersville graduate Jordan Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick has gotten his fair share of pinch hit opportunities. He steps in the spot that was scheduled to be Colin Clayton, the Bears starting right fielder. Fitzpatrick from the left side. Denton brings it and misses low and away for ball 1.
Fitzpatrick 1 for 15. 0-6-7.
He's not 1 for 15 anymore, Mike. They're going to send the runner home, and it is scoreless, no longer in Springfield. An RBI single pinch hit for Fitzpatrick, and the Bears lead 1-0.
Well, Keith Gutton knew what he was doing there. What a nice swing here by Fitzpatrick.
The former Logan Rogersville Wildcat puts the Bears on the board with the RBI single. Runners at first and second, still 2 outs as Mason Hull comes to the plate, trying to keep the 2-out rally going for Mo State. Pollock, you can see the emotion as he came home to score. Denton well off the plate for ball 1 here to Hull, who's 0 for 1 on the night with a strikeout that came back in the second inning. Hull almost goes to a knee trying to get around on that one for strike 1.
So Fitzpatrick has 2 hits. Both have resulted in RBIs.
It's efficient, Mike. It's efficient. I felt so bad for Jordan earlier this year. Had the opportunity to make the road trip with Missouri State out to San Diego for 3 games. He had come down with the flu and had to miss out on, while it wasn't a winning road trip for Missouri State, it was San Diego in February, and I highly recommend it as that one hits Hull, and the bases are full of Bears now.
So Denton in some problems here in the bottom of the 4th.
Razorbacks do have an arm up in the bullpen down the first base line as you see that one come in. Thigh high on the Bears shortstop, who now will take over at first base. After that one grazes Hull. So it's Katowski at third, Jordan Fitzpatrick with the RBI single at second, and Mason Hull at first. Looks like they have
Zebulon Vermillion, sophomore out of Prairie Village, Kansas, Shawnee Mission East High School. Zebulon.
Right-handed pitcher. Ironically enough, bats left, but throws right. And a early SEC candidate for the all-name team.
And he's being summoned into the ballgame.
Yep, that's going to close the book on Denton here. As Missouri State now has 3 hits, all of them coming here in the bottom of inning number 4.
So Denton 2/3 of an inning, 1 run so far. The runners at second and third are accountable to him. He's allowed 3 hits. Look at the ERA for Vermillion, 0.82.
0.82 with 11 strikeouts in 11 innings. In 2018 as a freshman, Zebulon Vermillion made 7 appearances. 3 of them were in SEC play. He had a 4.82 earned run average over 9 1/3 innings of work. Allowed 5 earned runs, struck out 11. Also had a save against Dayton. One of 6 different Razorbacks to record a save last season. Made his first collegiate pitching appearance against Bucknell back on February 17th a season ago. Product of Shawnee Mission East High School.
There's got to be a story behind the number 88.
That is not a normal pitching number, but what Wild Thing was 99, right?
Yep,
Major League.
yep.
Rick Vaughn, so maybe he's just a little under the Wild Thing. He inherits an unenviable situation now with the Bears covering up each of the bases, and it's Ben Whetstone due up here. Again, Ben doesn't have a home run on the season, but he was the Bears' best home run hitter in 2018 with 9 round trippers.
In 2017, Whetstone, no home runs. Matter of fact, was just 1 for 20. So Big spot here for Missouri State. 1 run already across. Runners at third, second, and first.
And a pitching staff for Arkansas that for 3 straight innings had faced the minimum.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that is all but obliterated now with a 3-hit, 1-run inning here in the bottom of the 4th. It will be a lefty-righty matchup between Whetstone and the new pitcher for the Razorbacks. First offering from Vermillion, well off the dish for ball 1. And I'm about to erase through the pitcher's mound on my scorecard, as this is now the 4th different pitcher used by Arkansas. Whetstone fouls this one up and back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Keith Gutton hasn't had a lot to smile about so far in a 5-win season. How far would a win against the number 8 Razorbacks go to lift this team's spirits? Vermillion misses again badly, 2-1.
Bears are right back at it here tomorrow night at 6:30, hosting the Kansas Jayhawks.
From the SEC to the Big 12 they go. Whetstone takes a good cut at that one, fouls it straight back behind him. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, with the bases full of Bears. Whetstone digs back in. Plunkett puts the sign down and waits. That one off the plate, and the count is full.
Favorite play in baseball.
Full count, bases loaded, 2 outs. Who's going to be the hero? Who's going to be the heel? Whetstone with the bat high above his shoulder, hits one hard to center field. Backing up for it is Fletcher, and he is underneath it, 2 strides in front of the warning track. Whetstone gave it a ride, but unable to leave the park to straightaway center field here at Hammonds Field. Missouri State now on top of the Razorbacks 1-0 with a 3-hit inning here in the home half of inning number 4.
Mike McClure, Corey Riggs at Hammonds Field in Springfield, Missouri. The Bears get a run in the bottom of the 4th, but left the bases loaded. So Arkansas comes to bat here in the 5th, trailing 1-0. Plunkett, Franklin, and Martin, the scheduled hitters for the Razorbacks here in the 5th inning. Ben Cruikshank on for his 5th inning of work. So far, no runs, 2 hits, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks for Cruikshank, who did get to start March 13th at Oral Roberts, and again just lasted 3 1/3 innings. 2 runs, both earned 3 hits, 2 strikeouts, and walked 5. A look at the crowd here at Hammonds Field as the folks with their jackets on, but again, beautiful day here, about 61 degrees, start to play this evening.
Other games going on tonight, Mike, involving Missouri Valley Conference teams. Valparaiso fell to Purdue earlier today, 5-1. It's a final now between Iowa and Bradley as the Hawkeyes get the victory, 4-2 over the Braves. And Indiana State, the Bears' next opponent, continues to crush. They defeat 25th ranked Illinois 3-1. The Sycamores off to a red-hot start.
20-2 with a win tonight. Wow. Zach Plunkett singled back in the 2nd inning. Down in the count 0-1. Pitch high, 1-1. Mentioned Arkansas at the beginning of the ballgame hitting .295 as a team. Their opponents hitting just .198. The Hogs have hit 25 home runs. Their opponents have hit just 13. Outside. And again, the Hogs 44 stolen bases. Their opponents just 9. They're going to turn that around on the pitching side. Or one more offensive stat. The Hogs have scored 178 runs. Their opponents just 89. The Arkansas team ERA 3.20, their opponents 7.04.
I think what was it, Missouri State came into tonight, now they have 77 RBIs on the season. When You look at that RBI number for Arkansas. You see what the leadoff batters have done tonight for the Razorbacks, giving them opportunities to score a run. But the Bears defense and pitching and Ben Cruikshank have been able to hold them scoreless so far.
The two leadoff batters that have gotten on base have not come around to score. It was Martin single in the first and Fletcher drawing the leadoff walk in the fourth. Swinging a foul tip into the glove of Millis. 5 strikeouts for Cruikshank.
Big uppercut swing that time out of the catcher Plunkett. It goes right back to the opposing catcher, Drew Millis. Right now, Mike, Drew's mom, Nell Millis, formerly Nell Patton, pretty excited about those Lady Bears going to the Sweet 16.
Ball 1 to Christian Franklin, who struck out in the second.
Of Ben Cruikshank's 5 strikeouts tonight, they've been against 4 different hitters. He struck out Nesbitt twice, and Christian Franklin back in the top of inning number 2. The rest of those Missouri Valley Conference scores, Mike. Illinois State losing to Milwaukee in the bottom of the 8th, 6-0. Southern Illinois up big over Belmont 8-2 in the top of the 8th. And then Dallas Baptist trailing 2-0 in the top of the 3rd to the University of Texas Arlington.
Of course, Missouri State and Dallas Baptist will meet early part of May here in Springfield on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Ball 4 to Franklin.
3rd walk of the night issued by Cruikshank, but what has gone well for Missouri State tonight has been that those walks have been spread out. They haven't allowed more than 1 free pass in any single inning, as you see the line on Cruikshank so far with those 2 hits, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. You know, 8 different Bears pitchers have started a game this year, but they've only gotten 3 quality starts.
That's not good. Here's a bunt attempt foul by Casey Martin for strike 1.
Cruikshank trying to give them their 4th quality start of the season, trying to go 5+, almost 6 innings and give you less than 3 earned runs, the qualifiers, to try and get into that quality start category.
Casey Martin hit a team best .345 last year. 13 home runs, 49 driven in. He's not a big kid, 5'11", 175. Bunts this one. Nice play by the pitcher. Cruikshank tosses it to first. Sacrifice is a good one. Franklin at second, but now 2 away. Didn't know if that was going to get past Cruikshank or not. Did a good job of getting off the mound.
He left the mound a little late and then stumbled trying to secure the ball off the infield grass, but was still able to flip it to Ben Whetstone in time to record the 2nd out.
Brings in Heston Kerstad, who's 0 for 2, flat out to left in the first and grounded out to the first baseman in the 3rd. Hogs leading hitter as far as number of hits with 33. And now Paul Evans out to the mound.
Bears have got an arm getting loose in their bullpen out in left field. For all of the talk that we have spent tonight talking about Dave Van Horn and talking about Keith Gutton, you cannot have the success they have had as head coaches without an incredible pitching coach. And Paul Evans is one of the best in the nation. And they're calling the Hogs in Springfield.
It'll be easier to get a ticket to Hammons Field than Baum Walker Stadium.
Yeah, you're going to have to keep saying Baum Walker, because I have always just called it by one name.
We'll talk about that here in a minute. Here's Kerstad. Steps in, runner at second, 2 down. Tying run at second. Breaking ball, misses ball 1. This year, Arkansas basically sold every chairback seat except for 600 seats, because if they host either a regional or a super regional, you've got to hold 600 seats for the opponent. So they didn't want any season ticket holder to have to be displaced.
Yeah, heaven forbid you have to sit in a different seat than the seat you've sat in all season.
Still have the hog pen out in beyond the left field wall, left center field area that, again, they just draw tremendous in Fayetteville.
Well,
and they're getting ready to add on and make more improvements to Bob Walker to keep up with the rest of the folks in the SEC.
Another multi-million-dollar renovation to Bob Walker Stadium, because you have to, in the SEC, you have to keep up with the Joneses. You've got to keep up with what Mississippi State is doing down in Starkville,
Tell
what
me
they're
about
doing
that.
in Ole Miss. Well, they do. They've got a set of condos that are out over the left field wall. It's a great vantage point to take in a game, and you know, I'm guessing that the food and drink's probably a little cheaper in the condo than it is inside the ballpark.
Wow. 2-1 pitch, way upstairs. Well, whatever Paul Evans said has not worked yet with Ben Cruikshank here against Heston Kjerstad.
Working against the SEC Freshman of the Year a season ago from Amarillo, Texas. All SEC second team, all freshman team. He was even named by Collegiate Baseball as a freshman All-American. He won just about every award you could win last year, Mike, as Cruikshank kicks and spins off the rubber.
He hit .332 as a freshman, 14 home runs, 58 driven in.
Out of high school in 2017, he was drafted by the Seattle Mariners in the 36th round, 1083rd selection, and he made the wise decision to come and play college baseball at Arkansas. I'm sure after that freshman year, that draft stock is on the rise.
He set the Arkansas freshman single season home run record. That solo shot in Game 2 of the NCAA Fayetteville Super Regional against South Carolina. That was back on June 10th.
Full count again.
Time is called. He had the longest hitting streak on the team a year ago, 14-game hitting streak from March 14th through April the 4th. Ooh, good pitch from Cruikshank, jamming Kjerstad, who fouls it off.
Now, Cruikshank has already eclipsed his longest start of the year. Remember, his lone start at ORU only went 3 1/3 innings.
Love the chest protector of the Bear logo.
The gear that Missouri State has this year, especially for the catchers like Drew Millis and Logan Gia, is sharp. You see it framed up there. I would say Rawlings did a nice job. It looks good on TV, too. Cruikshank taking his fair amount of time here, going back and forth between he and his battery mate, Drew Millis.
1-0 Missouri State, top of the 5th. Tying run at second with 2 down. A 3-2 pitch will be headed home to Kjerstad. Up the middle, but right at shortstop Hull, who was playing second base bag for the out. It was Hull, correct?
Yeah, they had the shift on big time.
Look at that.
That's your shortstop, Mason Hull, behind the bag. Privatera was off to his left, and the Bears get out of the inning safely.
Bottom of the 5th in Springfield. Missouri State leading Arkansas 1-0. Jack Duffy will lead it off for the Bears here in the 5th inning. Arkansas has already used Wicklander, Nolan, Denton, and Vermillion on the mound. And Vermillion will stay in to pitch the 5th. Hogs looking for their 21st win. They're 15-1 at home and 5-3 on opponents' fields. Missouri State playing just their 5th home game of the season, 2-2 at home, just 2-11 on opponents' fields, and 1-3 on neutral fields. Corey, the Bears made 2 trips to California and have gone over.
Yep, it's beautiful country out there, but it wasn't beautiful baseball as Jack Duffy gets hit with the first pitch from Zebulon Vermillion.
And that'll be the first time Missouri State's put their leadoff man on base.
It's not the way Duffy wanted to do it, but he'll take it. Bears look to add to their 1-0 advantage here. Duffy was squaring to bunt, and that hit right on the instep of that left foot.
The Tony Gwynn Legacy Tournament in San Diego was February 22nd, 23rd, 24th. They played Cal State Fullerton, San Diego, and Fresno State. Here is Privatera. Shows bunt. Pitch is outside for ball 1.
Then the Bears turned around and went back to California before this series. Played 3 at UC Santa Barbara. Lost 7-3, 5-3, and got run ruled 11-1. Missouri State so far in the month of March, Mike, is 2-11.
Wow. Again, Privateera showing bunt, and it's 2-0. Duffy just 1 for 2 in stolen bases. A little bit bigger lead over at first this time. Vermillion throws that direction.
Well, no Bear in the lineup today has attempted to steal more than 5 bases. Logan Gia is a perfect 5 for 5.
Bunt to Vermillion, looks at second, but will throw to first. Good sacrifice by Privateera.
And John Privateera, one of those speed guys for Missouri State. You cannot slowly address this ball if you're the pitcher. Vermillion comes off the mound quickly and can't waste a lot of time.
Wow.
It was only a stride or so before he was going to leg that out at first and have a bunt single.
Top of the order, Logan Gia is 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs. Logan Gia, the week of March 12th through the 17th, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs that week. Vermillion's pitch misses for ball 1. Duffy leads from second. Good pitch from Vermillion for a called strike, 1-1. Took a little something off the fastball and misses outside. 2-1.
Gia was squared to bunt, pulled that back in time, didn't waste that swing. See Duffy get another good lead away from the bag at second. Nobody hovering for a pick.
Leader in RBIs for the Bears. Looks a fly ball to right center field, and it'll be the center fielder Fletcher to make the catch. Duffy will tag at second and move to third, but he's there with 2 out.
Bears continue to be able to move the runners over, but it'll take another 2-out rally here. And you know who got it all started the last time was Drew Millis. Drew Millis got a single in the bottom of the 4th inning.
After striking out in the first, Millis, tough opening part of the season, missed 2 weeks with a hamstring injury. Hit just 129 through his first 8 games, but been on fire ever since. Good pitch from Vermillion in for a called strike.
This is a guy, though, Mike, that on those road trips to start the season at Texas State, to go out to San Diego, scouts have been out to see Drew Millis. D1 Baseball had him ranked as one of the top 50 hitters in the nation in the junior class, one of the top 10 catchers in the junior class. A lot of eyes and a lot of pressure on this young man.
Now 0-2. With that single in the 4th, Millis has reached base safely on a hit, a walk, or a hit by pitch in 9 straight games. Now hits in 8 of those. Oh-2 delivery. Gets away from the catcher, Plunkett, and safe at the plate. 2-0 Missouri State.
And Millis was calling Duffy home the moment that pitch hit. That's what can happen sometimes when your catcher is at home plate in a situation like that. And Plunkett had no idea where the ball had gotten to. Look, Plunkett flips the mask off. Millis is waving Duffy home, and Jack on
Patera doesn't get that sacrifice bunt down.
Absolutely.
2-0 Missouri State, and a 2-2 count now on Millis.
So Duffy gets hit by a pitch and then scores on a wild pitch from Zebulon Vermillion.
Down and in, 3-2. Up the middle, base hit for Millis.
His second straight base hit in the second straight inning for Missouri State. Millis coming on, and Bears trying to hold on to this 2-run advantage. You see the way he gets the bat head around through the zone quickly, and that one goes straight back through all the way out to Dominic Fletcher in center field. The Bears continue to threaten here with 2 outs.
Joey Pollock struck out in the first inning, reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the fourth, and looks at ball 1. So the wild pitch allowing Duffy to score. Sunday in college softball, Missouri State came from behind to beat Northern Iowa 3-2, and they got the winning run in the 7th on a wild pitch that gave 31st year head coach Holly Hesse her 800th career win.
Pollock fouls one off here. 1 ball, 1 strike. 22 pitches now so far in this appearance for number 88, Zebulon Vermillion.
Pollock, a 173 hitter at the start of play tonight. 2-1.
But you chronicled his numbers at Jeffco a year ago.
I thought those were typos.
No, they're not. He is a 1 pitch, 1 swing out of the park kind of hitter.
Got pulled a hamstring on that swing. Wow.
Still looking for his first home run as a Missouri State Bear. He does have 3 doubles, 13 hits. He's tallied 6 RBIs so far on the season.
That just missed.
Don't know that you could have got a credit card in between the ball and the strike zone. That was close.
3-2. With 2 outs, Millis will take off from first, not being held on. Swing and a foul will do it again.
Pollock's average through his first 2 at-bats now, 169 with 9 runs scored. Dakota Katowski waits on deck.
And strike 3 swinging. Bears get a run on 1 hit. We'll move to the 6th. Missouri State 2, Arkansas nothing. You're watching the Valley on ESPN. Head to the top of the 6th here in Springfield. Missouri State with a 2-0 lead, and Keith Gutton will go to his bullpen for the first time tonight. Ben Cruikshank was brilliant, going 5 innings of shutout ball, but now Davis Schwab will come on, and you see his numbers: 6 appearances, a pretty high ERA, just under 8, 21 2/3 innings, 19 strikeouts, 13 walks. And we talked to Keith before the game. He was fingers crossed he'd get 5 great innings out of Cruikshank, and boy, Corey, did he do that more.
He got an outstanding start by the Bears freshman left-hander, being able to strike out 5 Razorbacks on the night, striking out Nesbitt not once but twice, and only 3 walks. And Mike, I can't get away from the importance of each time he gave up one of those walks, it was only once an inning. He never allowed that to sort of compound on the performance, give up back-to-back walks, and really dig yourself a hole. So Davis Schwab on in relief of Ben Cruikshank. 4 starts this year for Davis, arguably his best one back on March 1st against UC Irvine. He went 6 innings, allowed 3 earned runs, walked 3, and struck out 5. He took the loss in that one. but now used in a relief appearance here to try to hold the Razorbacks down as Missouri State has garnered a 2-0 advantage.
The lefty will face Trevor Ezell to start things off. Swing and a miss, strike one. Cruikshank, 5 innings pitched, no runs, 2 hits, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks. He'll get the win if Arkansas doesn't rally here, down 2. As he pitched 5 innings. Ezell walked in the first and grounded out to the shortstop in the third. He's 0 for 1.
Ezell started his baseball career at Southeast Missouri State as he tries to bunt his way on and fouls that one off. He was an All-Ohio Valley Conference second-team performer his sophomore year in 2016. Started 7 games for the Red Hawks as a junior in 2017. Now this is redshirt senior season, finishing up at Arkansas.
2-2. Zell, Fletcher, and Goodhart here in the Razorback 6th inning. 3-2.
Ezell, a career .336 batting average in over 181 games. 128 career RBIs coming into this season.
Swing and a foul tip into the glove for strike 3.
So 5 strikeouts for Ben Cruikshank. Davis Schwab comes in, 1 batter. 1 strikeout is just a piece of that as Ezell was just barely under it. He buries it in Millis's mitt.
If Ezell would have walked there, the whole momentum would have just shifted to the first base dugout.
These Missouri State pitchers, Mike, need confidence. They need early success because it's something they haven't had this year. So that first strikeout probably go a long way as Davis Schwab starts the next hitter off with a breaking ball for a called strike.
Dominic Fletcher flied out to right in the first, walked in the fourth, also 0 for 1. Look over the shoulder of Keith Gutton. Off the glove of Millis. 1-1.
Dominic Fletcher out of Cypress, California, Cypress High School. Selected as a member of the SEC's all-defensive team a season ago in his sophomore campaign.
Schwab appeared in 14 games last year, a 2-1 record. Opponent's batting average against him, .236. Started out at Kansas State University and then Johnson County Community College as that pitch misses high. And again, falling behind hitters in the count. Just even the crowd just yelling out, throw strikes. I wish it was that easy just to listen to everything the crowd says.
If it was that easy to throw strikes, everybody would be playing college baseball. It's just not.
A bunt, and that's going to be trouble. Safe at first.
Yeah, Pollock had no chance. He wasn't in on the grass at third, wasn't looking for it. And that time, Fletcher never really showed it, Mike. The entire at-bat, just pulls the bat down quickly, bunts it like a pro. I mean, just uses the very end of the barrel of the bat to drop it down. Pollock had to race in.
He knew where Pollock was playing.
No chance here. He was falling away from first base to his right, couldn't put anything on the throw. Nice bunt single for Dominic Fletcher.
Up and into Goodhart for ball 1. Matt Goodhart 0 for 2. Davis Schwab, his father played and coached professional soccer. Head men's and or women's soccer coach at Johnson County Community College since 1990.
He's also not the only pitcher in the Missouri State roster, Mike, that started their college career at Kansas State and then came to Springfield.
Check of the runner at first.
Logan Wiley, who'll probably get one of the weekend starts as the Bears open conference play against Indiana State. Also started his collegiate baseball career in the Little Apple, Manhattan, Kansas.
Fletcher draws the throw. So we gave you some Arkansas numbers and opponents' numbers for Missouri State. Team batting average 206, opponents hitting 302, almost 100 points higher. Bears 12 home runs, opponents 19. Again, Fletcher draws a throw. Missouri State 87 runs scored, opponents 168, and then almost a 4-run differential, over 4 runs in earned run average. Bears 7.33 ERA, opponents just 3.21.
But Mike, that 7.33 drops down to 3.5 when they play at Hammons Field. As Schwab struggling to find the strike zone again here, continuing to battle from behind. That batting average jumps up almost 100 points to better than 263 when they're in Springfield. But again, this is only their 5th home game of the season.
Ball 4 will put runners on at first and second and 1 out for the Hogs.
So a bunt, single, and a walk. Arkansas has everything going their way here in the top of the 6th inning. SEC baseball scores from tonight. Tennessee suffers a loss in state to East Tennessee, 6-5, Mike. Bottom of the 9th inning, 2 top 25 ranked teams going at it. 23rd ranked Florida leads 20th ranked Florida State in Jacksonville, 4-2. Top of the 5th, 24th ranked Ole Miss leads Memphis 7-4. Mizzou on the road tonight at the University of Texas San Antonio. The Tigers trail by a run, 7-6 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Told you the Razorbacks defeated Alabama most recently in SEC play. Alabama leads 15th ranked Auburn 3-2. That game in the top of inning number 6.
Pitching coach Paul Evans out to the mound, and it appears Davis Schwab will be facing just 3 Arkansas batters this evening. It's coming into the bullpen.
The freshman Hayden Yinger. Yinger's been one of the starting pitchers for Missouri State. Struggled as of late. It seems to have found his legs coming out of the bullpen for the Bears. And Schwab will hand off the ball to Hayden Yinger.
Last name is spelled J-U-E-N-G-E-R, but you correctly said, pronounced Yinger.
Well, I had the luxury of getting to travel with this team for the first couple of weeks of the season, doing radio, filling in for the Hall of Famer Art Haynes. And honestly, Mike, on the first bus trip to the airport, I thought it was a nickname. I thought, oh, they've given him a nickname already. But he is an impressive freshman, 6 foot, 175 pounds, out of O'Fallon, Illinois. He was the number 3 ranked right-hander by perfect game a season ago. He was born in St. Louis, and so far on the season, what stands out for me most, and this may seem like an odd thing to say, Yinger has the fastest pick move to first base of any Bears pitcher. And not a lefty, he's a righty. Normally the lefties have that benefit of staring right at the first base side of the field. But Yinger, when he decides he's going to throw to first, it's never a soft toss. It's never a, oh, let's just try and get him back over to the bag. He chucks it. He had a start against Utah where he went 3 1/3 innings, allowed 5 hits and 2 earned runs, struck out 2 and walked 3. Then he started at San Diego, only went 2 innings, allowing 4 earned runs with 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. But that was in his 2 starts.
Cruikshank went 5 innings. Schwab goes a 3rd, and now Yinger on to face Jack Kinley for Arkansas with runners at first and second. Just 1 out, and the Bears clinging to a 2-0 lead here in the top of the 6th inning. 2 struck out and popped up.
Kinley with Nesbitt waiting on deck. A good kind of part of the order to bring a freshman in, Mike. This is a part of the order that has not been producing. The 6, 7, 8 hitters so far in the lineup for Dave Van Horn.
First pitch called strike. Kinley, as a freshman, made his first collegiate start at Missouri on March 25th. Rips this one past his second baseman Privatera into right. Rounding third is Fletcher. He'll be held there, and the bases are loaded.
A sharply hit single off the bat of Jack Kinley. Load the bases against the freshman Hayden Yeager on in relief. Good bat speed that time. And a diving John Privatera that just bounced right past the glove. A hard play. Fitzpatrick up with it in right field. But now the Razorbacks have the bases loaded for the first time tonight.
And Jacob Nesbitt has to be glad to look out there and not see Ben Cruikshank. He had faced him twice and struck out twice.
Yinger also the first right-handed pitcher that the Razorbacks will face tonight after Cruikshank and Schwab were lefties.
Bases loaded, one out. Strike one to Nesbitt.
He started both the batters he has faced with the fastball over for a strike, trying not to paint himself into a corner. Yinger with a 4.58 earned run average to this point. 17 2/3 innings of work.
Tying run at second, go ahead run on at first. 1-1. Current average at 338, started out play tonight at 346.
One swing of the bat could change his batting average and completely change the complexion of this game.
A little low, 2-1. Missouri State infield would love to turn a double play here. Outfield straightaway for Nesbitt. And ripped into center field for a base hit. Fletcher will score. Goodhart around third. The throw home is too late, and Arkansas ties it at 2.
Well, to go from 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, swinging and looking, to a 2 RBI single, and we press the reset button on the battle between the Bears and the Hogs. Nesbitt reached out across the plate. Mike, that was off the plate. It would have been easily called a ball, but Nesbitt extends his arms, drives it into the outfield, and plates 2 teammates to knot us up at 2.
Those runs charged to Davis Schwab. Yinger has given up back-to-back singles. Zach Plunkett, the scheduled batter, but looks like Arkansas will send up a pinch hitter.
This is Trey Harris, a right-handed hitting freshman outfielder.
He's hitting .280, has appeared in just 9 games with 7 starts. Pinch hitting for Plunkett, who was 1 for 2. Harris takes a called strike.
Yinger's senior year, he went 9-1 with a 1.55 earned run average, 75 strikeouts, over 54 1/3 innings of work. Led the Panthers to a national ranking. They were 35-4-1.
This is hit deep to left and down for a base hit. Kinley around third. He will score, and Arkansas has their first lead of the evening at 3-2.
Trey Harris, that's not easy to do, Mike, to come in cold, pick up a bat, and deliver like that. But the freshman not shying away from the bright lights here at Hammons Field. Knocks that one down right in front of Logan Gia. Gives the Razorbacks the lead.
Paul Evans out to the pitcher's mound. 5 straight Razorbacks have reached base safely. Ezel struck out to start the inning. Dominic Fletcher got a bunt single. Goodhart walked. Pitching change was made at that point. Yinger came in and he's given up a base hit to Kenley, a 2-run single to Nesbitt, and a RBI single to Harris. And Yinger will stay in. Christian Franklin will bat for the Hogs. He is 0 for 1, struck out in the second, walked in the fifth.
The only meeting between these two teams a season ago came on April 17th. Arkansas winning 11-7. The Hogs homered twice in that one. The Bears had a 4-run lead in that game, Mike, until Arkansas plated 5 runs in the 5th inning. They've scored 3 here in inning number 6 to take the lead in Springfield.
Still first and second, 1 out. Ball 1 to Christian Franklin. The Razorback RBI leader with 25. To second, out at second, out at first. 4-6-3 double play, but the damage done by the Razorbacks. 3 runs on 4 hits. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. The 8th-ranked Hogs now lead the Bears 3-2. Look into the Arkansas dugout on the first base side of Hammons Field. The Hogs with their first lead. They trailed 2-0, but scored 3 runs in the top of the 6th. Take their first lead at 3-2, and Dave Van Horn will bring on his 5th pitcher of the evening. Wicklander, Nolan, Denton, Vermillion, and now Cole Ramage, a right-hander, will take the mound for the Razorbacks.
Well, he wasn't kidding when Coach Van Horn told us he was looking forward to only having 1 midweek game this week. I guess that means he wanted to get a bunch of arms loose. 5 different pitchers now. This is Cole Ramage from South Lake, Texas, South Lake Carroll High School. And how many big-name college athletes can you name from South Lake Carroll High School? A sophomore, and as a freshman, made 21 appearances, 2 starts a season ago. His appearances were the most for any freshman pitcher and the 4th most on the pitching staff. Had a 4.00 earned run average over 36 innings, Mike. 50 strikeouts, only 16 earned runs.
Well, first pitch will be a base hit to right field.
Katowski. Dakota Katowski is 2 for 3 on the night now with singles in the 4th and the 6th inning after he started the night out with the strikeout.
Nice opposite field single for the freshman DH, who's now 2 for 3. And Jordan Fitzpatrick will bat for the 2nd time, and what a big pinch hit RBI single he had back in the 4th.
Came in for Colin Clayton. Got the big RBI single. They got the scoring started for Missouri State. They plated 1 run in the 4th, 1 run in the 5th, but have now surrendered that lead to the Razorbacks 3-2.
Fitzpatrick with a drive to right center field. Fletcher goes back and makes a running catch. And Katowski has to hurry back to first base.
Wow. Give Fletcher credit. That was a laser out to center field toward that Aaron Saxon Associates bright yellow sign. It came off the bat of Fitzpatrick in a hurry. Fitzpatrick really seeing the ball well tonight. And Fletcher ranging to his left, able to bring it in.
We'll bring in Mason Hall, who has struck out and reached on a fielder's choice. Katowski at first represents the tying run. Ball 1 got away from the catcher, but not far enough for any advancement. Plunkett was pinch hit for. Opitz now behind the plate. Ooh, nearly hit him. Hull had to back out of the way. 2-0.
So new pitcher, new catcher, new everything.
To third, out at second, safe at first.
Well, that's just maximum effort by Mason Hull that time. That's the second time tonight Missouri State has been able to do that. The Razorback infield setting up for the double play, but all hustle by Hull here. After Nesbitt winds it around to second, Kinley tries to sit it on. Ezel with another big-time stretch. Look at it from our camera right down behind the first base bag, and it's a bang-bang play at first. And I'm looking around, Mike, to make sure no video review that side.
No.
We're going to keep playing baseball.
Whetstone swinging a foul for strike one. Whetstone 0 for 2, grounded out and flied out to center field. Whetstone in the fourth inning had the bases loaded and 2 out when he flied out to Dominic Fletcher.
So that's the second time tonight Hull has reached on a fielder's choice.
Very short lead at first. Inside to Whetstone. 1 ball, 1 strike.
By the way, Cole Ramage picked up his first ever collegiate win against guess who, Mike? Missouri State, April 17th.
Oh. 2-1. Throw over to first. Hull safely back. Just off the outside edge. 3-1. Ramage 5 appearances last year with 4 or more strikeouts, including a couple in the SEC at Ole Miss and at Georgia. Ball 4. Whetstone on for the first time.
Whetstone by hook or by crook had to find a way to get on base and finally does after an 0 for 2 start to his night. First base coach Corey Hassel gives him a pat on the helmet.
It's the first walk given to the Bears batters tonight. First and second, 2 out for Jack Duffy, who popped up to the shortstop in the third and was hit by a pitch and scored in the 5th.
6 strikeouts spread out over the 5 Razorback pitchers used in this one.
Duffy hitting just 164 at the start of play tonight. Looks at ball 1.
Dropped down to 161 now after he popped out to the shortstop, but back in the 5th inning, he was hit by a pitch and made it all the way around the bases and scored on a wild pitch with Drew Millis at the plate. More importantly, Mike, coming back off an ACL injury from last year. When I first saw Jack to start this season, I almost didn't. Stronger, had to rehab the legs, but built up the upper body, swings the bat just that much harder now for Missouri State.
His freshman year in 2017 went 2 for 4 with a walk, a steal, and an RBI against the host Razorbacks in that regional play on June 4th.
Smart kid last year, an MVC Scholar athlete as an outfielder. MVC Commissioner's Academic Excellence Award. MVC Commissioner's Honor Roll.
Swing and a miss for strike 3. Good pitch by Ramage, and Bears fail to score here in the 6th inning.
Our coffins were all together on the ship that brought us over to America. We used to climb up to the top deck and, breathe in the sea air and seduce and kill sailors.
Guillermo claims to have found a group of people that are 100% virgins.
LARPing, as you probably know, stands for live-action role-playing.
I don't want these virgins. I would taste the sadness.
What We Do in the Shadows. Available on FX Now and on demand.
Yinger.
Welcome back to downtown Springfield, Missouri, everybody. Corey Riggs and Mike McClure here with you on the Valley on ESPN. Missouri State got out to a 2-run-to-none advantage in the bottom of the 5th inning, but the Razorbacks came storming back, plating 3 runs in the top of the 6th. As we now move to the top of inning number 7. Arkansas bats ready to get back to work. It's maybe a late night for some of the kids out here. It is a school night, Mike.
Well, some schools are on spring break a little bit.
Maybe the ones down in Arkansas, but most of the ones here in Southwest Missouri did it in the last 2 weeks. So Hayden Yinger comes back out to work after using 10 pitches in the last inning. Blows the first one by Casey Martin. Yinger will face the top 3 hitters in the lineup for the Razorbacks, Martin, Kerstad, and Ezel. Next pitch well off the plate for ball 1. Yinger not wasting any time, and that fastball had something on it. A high fastball up in the zone. Martin could not lay off of it. Martin 1 for 2 tonight with a single back in the top of the first. And man, Yinger looks like a completely different pitcher from the last half inning to this one as he flat smokes Casey Martin.
That's just gas. Wow.
I feel like just putting a K down in the box is somehow discounting what Yinger just did against the Razorbacks leadoff man, Casey Martin. The first time Martin has been retired via the strikeout tonight. That'll bring up Heston Kerstad now. He lets that pitch miss high and wide for ball 1. The starting right fielder tonight is 0 for 3. Lefty-righty matchup here. That one fouled off. Millis will collect it. Send it off the field to play. I think Yinger would work faster if the opposing hitters would stay in the batter's box. He looks like he's just ready to rock and fire every time. That time, well off the plate.
I know the Bears are having just their 5th home game tonight. Host Kansas tomorrow night and Indiana State this weekend. Enjoy the home games because then it's at SEMO, at Murray State, 3 at Southern Illinois, 1 at Kansas, 3 at Illinois State.
Doesn't seem like they get to play at home much this year, do they?
Wow.
That may explain why our opportunities to work together are so few and far between. They're always on the road. Yinger down to the count, 3-1, goes inside and walks Heston Kerstad for the first time tonight. Fifth walk issued tonight by Missouri State pitchers. Not Wicklander, but Davis Schwab, Hayden Yinger. And the Bears starter tonight, Ben Cruikshank. So 1-on-1 out now for Trevor Ezel. Another one of the multitude of left-handed bats in this lineup. Swings and misses at strike 1. You know everybody's got more right-handed pitching. But this Dave Van Horn lineup's got plenty of left-handed power hitters in it. Yinger kicks, fires. Misses too tall. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Ezel 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout and a walk in his first plate appearance. Runner goes. This one fouled off the end of the bat of Ezel as Kjerstad was ready to jump and did. Kind of surprised, Mike, that we haven't seen more of that, considering the speed that this Arkansas team can put on the base pass and the number of stolen bases that they've already collected on the young season. Yinger sees his next pitch fouled back in the net again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The runner at first is Heston Kjerstad. Dominic Fletcher, the cleanup hitter, is in the on-deck circle. Yinger rocks and fires. Ezel getting his money's worth out of this at bat. The 3rd straight pitch he has fouled off from the freshman righty for Missouri State. Another modest lead for Ezel. And there's that pick move I was talking about. When Yinger makes his mind up, he turns and fires in a hurry. 1 ball and 2 strikes here between Yinger and Trevor Ezel. That was a pitch out. Millis up and grabbing it. Evens the count at 2-2. Ezel struck out in his last plate appearance. Yinger takes a deep breath, brings it home, and again, just has kind of lost the top of the strike zone. He's over the plate, but some of those pitches are eye high.
He's overthrowing, not following through.
So Yinger had the advantage in the count, and now Ezel has battled all the way back to a 3-2 pitch. Another throw over to first. Diving back in headlong is Kjerstad. Ezel holds the bat over the shoulder. The runner goes, and it's a walk. 2nd straight walk given up by the Bears freshman right-hander. I believe there's a little bit of activity out in the Missouri State bullpen. And Paul Evans saunters back out to the pitcher's mound here at Hammons Field. That is going to be it for Hayden Yinger. Yinger's night will be done, working 1 complete inning, allowing 1 earned run, 3 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout. He will be replaced by Nate Witherspoon.
Junior out of Eureka, Missouri, a left-hander.
So lefty, lefty, righty, lefty for Paul Evans as far as how he has handled the pitching staff for Missouri State tonight. Mike, I will be interested to see what Nate Witherspoon does. You see some of the information on him. A 1-0 record. He's worked 8 2/3 innings. A 6.23 earned run average. 6 strikeouts against 3 walks. Was named the Danny Cook Rookie of the Year back in 2017. But this is a young man who was a standard pitcher, an over-the-top pitcher. He is now the Submariner. Which is not the first time that Paul Evans or a Missouri State pitcher has switched. But Witherspoon, now you see the low sidearm delivery. He was a classic over-the-top lefty who is now changed to try and get more innings of work and get more production out of that left arm. Let's recap what's gone on tonight between these two teams. Missouri State got the scoring started back in the bottom of inning number 4. Missouri State's bats were able to string together hits with Drew Millis, Dakota Katowski, then an RBI pinch hit by Jordan Fitzpatrick drove in the first run of the night here as you see Joey Pollock racing home to make it 1-0 Missouri State. Then in the 5th, Missouri State would extend the lead as they saw Jack Duffy hit by a pitch. Drew Millis would end up coming up to the plate here after Duffy advances. Then the wild pitch gets past Plunkett. Jack Duffy able to score. That made it 2-0 Missouri State. But Mike, the Razorbacks would plate 3 in the top of the 6th.
Started with that bunt single by Dominic Fletcher after Ezell had struck out to start the inning. Goodhart walked. Kenley a base hit to right field. Nesbitt in the 2-run single that tied it. Harris got the pinch hit RBI single to give Arkansas their first lead at 3-2 as they plated 3 runs on 4 hits in the 6th inning. And there's the pinch hit by Harris out into left field that drove in Kenley. That's where we stand here in Springfield. Hogs up 3-2. Arkansas with runners at first and second. 1 out here in the 7th as Nate Witherspoon will face his first batter in Dominic Fletcher.
Witherspoon puts that one right over the heart of the plate for strike 1. The 6'4" junior out of Eureka High School.
Opponent's batting average against him this year is .323.
And a career 3.90 earned run average coming into this year. He really took something off of that one, but again, over for a strike against Dominic Fletcher. Remember the SEC all-defensive team a year ago. Fletcher, a career new .290 hitter coming into this season. Mike Witherspoon against Missouri Valley Conference opponents in his career has an ERA of a flat 2.
Yeah.
Runners at first and second, third is unoccupied. That pitch well off the plate for ball 1.
Again, the shift on for Missouri State with the shortstop Hull literally behind the second base bag. Privatera
halfway to first.
Yep. Whetstone guarding the line.
3-2 Arkansas in the lead and looking to add to it here in the top of the 7th. Witherspoon taking his time, tries to paint the outside corner but doesn't get the black. It goes 2 balls and 2 strikes now between he and Dominic Fletcher, the cleanup hitter for Arkansas. Fletcher 1 for 2 tonight. His on-base percentage now at .667 with a .308 batting average. That one tattooed, a low line drive out into left field. Gee up with it. They'll wave home the runner, play at the plate, but Millis can't get his glove on the ball. It rolls past him. First base is open. Razorbacks now at second and third, and it's 4-2 Arkansas.
The walks are coming back to haunt the Bears.
Mike, this is a bit of an understatement, but Fletcher hit that one hard. That was in the replay, it just really doesn't show you how quick it popped off the bat. Millis was there to beat the run, but didn't have the ball with him as the relay throw misses his mitt. So Fletcher collects the RBI. That is his 19th of the season. 4-2 now our score as Witherspoon goes to work against Matt Goodhart.
Witherspoon good and bad against Arkansas. The bad, he allowed 8 hits, the most in his career, April the 11th, 2017 against Arkansas. But the good, 6 strikeouts, 2 times the last, April 11th, 2017 against the Hogs.
Another breaking ball. This one fouled off the end of the bat. Razorbacks designated to short in the first, flew out to right in the 4th, and walked his last time up. So 3 runs in the 6th for the Hogs, now 1 here in the 7th. Lefty-lefty matchup with 2 on and just 1 out. That breaking ball had Goodhart all sorts of confused. Kind of jelly-legged him. Witherspoon now with the count in his favor, 1-2.
Again, the Bears infield in at all 4 positions.
Hull pretty much has his left foot in on the grass there. Now Witherspoon steps off the rubber. I saw Nate and his dad walking to the ballpark today. Looks like they've made a pit stop at Chipotle before heading to Hammonds Field. Witherspoon breaking ball, hit hard through the gap between the first and second baseman. Another run will come home to score. And it's now all about Arkansas after they have plated 3 runs in the 6th and 3 more here in the 7th.
So both batters that walked this inning have come around to score. Martin struck out, but then Kerstad and Ezel both walked. Pitching change made at that point, and Witherspoon is not retired either. Fletcher or Goodhart both have singles and RBIs. For Goodhart, 2 RBIs there. He's got 9 on the year, and it's all of a sudden the Hogs with 6 unanswered runs.
Folks from Fayetteville calling the Hogs as another 3-run inning goes up on the board. Runner goes. Millis throws to the third base side of second. It'll be a stolen base for Matt Goodhart.
It's 4 for 5 this year.
4th larceny of the season for Goodhart. See Hull there kind of falling down, but the throw behind him. First and third base unoccupied. Goodhart now stands alone on the bases at second. Witherspoon tries to get to work against Jack Kinley.
The shift's still on.
Yep. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here in the top of the 7th. Mason Hull standing almost directly behind second base. Privateer now close enough to whisper to Whetstone. Well on the first base side of the infield. That one well off the plate for Witherspoon. Remind you that a completely new pitching style for this young man who had been throwing a more traditional pitch for all of his life up until the start of this season. Next offering, Witherspoon, that pitch well inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. And some folks starting to take the warm-ups off in the Missouri State bullpen yet again. No activity down the first base line for the Razorbacks. Witherspoon from the belt, looks. That one is fouled back into Millis's glove for strike 2. Kinley on the night. He's 1 for 3 with a strikeout back in inning number 2 when he was fanned by Ben Cruikshank, the Bears starter tonight.
Freshman right-hander Nick Schmidt warming in the Missouri State bullpen.
Junior Witherspoon gets his 7th strikeout of the season, his first of the night, as he rings up Jack Kinley, who has been retired via the strikeout not once but twice. There is nothing natural about that pitching motion for me. I don't know how you can get your head out over your shoulder like that and then have any sort of accuracy at all. If I tried doing that, everything I'd throw would probably go into the third base dugout. Actually, the first base dugout, because I'm right-handed. Witherspoon pitches inside for strike 1 now as he faces Nesbitt. 1 for 3 tonight with a pair of strikeouts, but a big 2 RBI single that plated 2 of the 3 runs back an inning ago in the 6th.
Struck out in his 2 plate appearances against the starting pitcher, Ben Cruikshank.
Witherspoon winds again. Nesbitt can't lay off of it. And that's the one thing about this pitching style is if you don't see it, if you don't see it often, you know, good hitters, they see the ball out of the pitcher's hands. They talk about being able to count the spin, see the stitches. This delivery style is so different that it throws all of those mechanics off as Witherspoon looks at the lead runner. Next pitch fouled back into the net. 0-2 with 2 outs and a runner at second base. That's Matt Goodhart.
See the average for Nesbitt now at 346.
On base percentage sits at 333. 1 home run, 20 RBIs on the season, 2 of which came just an inning ago. Witherspoon stares at the ground, then comes set. This one fouled, popped straight up on the infield. Who's going to call for it? Ends up being the Bears' first baseman, Ben Whetstone, that comes all the way over and collects it. But the damage has been done for the Razorbacks for the second straight inning. Arkansas has been able to call home 3 runs. They lead Missouri State 6-2 here on the Valley on ESPN. It'll be the 9-1-2 hitters for Keith Gutton's Bears. John Privatera, Logan Gia, and Drew Millis. The Razorback fans have a lot of reasons to smile. They continue to call the Hogs here in downtown Springfield. Their team up by 4, 6-2. Casey Opitz behind the plate. Some young Razorback fans in the house as well. Arkansas will have the rest of this week off until they turn their attention to their next opponent, as they will host Ole Miss for 3 games. John Privatera 0 for 1 tonight, looking for his first hit. Bounces one foul behind first base. Privatera, the Bears' starting second baseman. Trying to start the comeback climb here for Missouri State. They were no hit for the first 3 innings were the Bears, then plated runs in the 4th and the 5th, but have since allowed 6 unanswered Razorback runs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Privatera holds off on that one as it misses low and in. Privatera's batting average at home here in Springfield coming into the game, .412.
Wow.
7 hits, 2 runs. That time he stares at strike 2. Privatera fouls the next one off, the end of his bat. Working against Cole Ramage, the 5th pitcher of the night, used for Arkansas. Privatera led off for the Bears in all but 3 games coming into tonight, and he can't lay off that pitch. Swing and a miss, and Privatera is rung up that time, striking out for the first time tonight. The second strikeout in the relief appearance of Cole Ramage.
Just went down and couldn't get it.
Yeah, probably needed a 7-iron if you wanted to dig that one out of the dirt. Now it's top of the order for MSU. Logan Gia trying to quelch an 0 for 3 night at the plate. His batting average sits at 200. Looks at ball 1. Over 20 pitches now for Ramage. He winds and fires. That one inside, but called a strike. Even the count at 1-1. Privatera, Colin Clayton, and Logan Gia, the 3 players for Missouri State that have batted in the leadoff spot so far this season. Ian takes ball 2. Ramage peers over the top of his glove. Sends that one low and away for ball 3.
Missouri State in 1996 and 1997, they captured their first 2 Missouri Valley Conference tournament titles, but not before getting off to a 9-13 start in 96 and a 1-8 start the following year.
Ramage blows one by Gia here for a full count.
Their previous all-time worst start in 1993, the Bears had just 6 wins in their first 21 games, but they ended up the season 32-23. They won 25 of their final 29 regular season games.
That is crazy. Gia fouls this one off. Well, when you wonder what's going to come of the final win-loss total for Missouri State, think about this. In Keith Gutton's 37 years as the head coach of Missouri State after taking over for Bill Rowe, he's only had 5 losing seasons as Logan Gia takes the free pass down to first. None of those 5 seasons, Mike, were ever in a consecutive order.
Wow.
Every time they went sub 500, they came back with a winning season the next year. One thing that makes you the 5th winningest coach, fifth winningest active coach in Division I college baseball is knowing what changes to make. And Keith Gutton has done that in his career. Drew Millis due up now with 1 out. Logan Gia standing alone on the bases, getting his lead away from first. Millis back-to-back singles in the 4th and the 5th, and a throw from Ramage will get Logan Gia a little dirty as he slides in.
Of course, the Bears open up Valley play this weekend against Indiana State. They were 18-3 in league play a year ago. They run their 2-year Valley mark to 36 wins and 40 conference games.
Well, 3 out of the last 4 seasons, the Bears had 40-plus wins. Millis takes ball 1.
But I love the strength of schedule stat that we had in the pregame show. Missouri State's second strongest schedule in all of college baseball behind Gonzaga.
Want to know the count? Millis stares at strike 1. Two for 3 tonight with 2 singles.
Raised his average to 246. He started out tonight at 224.
He wears number 24 on the front of that Missouri State home white jersey. Sends this one screaming foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Our umpires tonight, Wayne Harris behind the plate. He works a number of Missouri Valley games. Sean Arthur at 3rd, Mark Hutchison at 1st. They're Big 12 officials. A lot of weeks. There's one hit right back over the pitching mound. Throw away from first. Millis is now sprinting towards second, and they'll have Drew Millis gunned down after he thought he had a free run to second base. What a wild end to the 7th inning. Missouri State trying to get something going. Logan Gia was walked, and then this, a wild throw. Millis takes a wide turn, but is thrown out at second. Arkansas leads Missouri State 6-2. Number 8, Arkansas Razorbacks get ready for 3 home games against SEC foe Ole Miss. Then, as Mike told you about earlier, a couple of in-state games on the schedule. The first one being April 2nd against Little Rock. And they will go on the road to Auburn for a 3-game series. Have a non-conference date April 9th against Oral Roberts. Then go on the road to Vanderbilt April 12th, 13, and 14.
Missouri State had an 11-2 win at Oral Roberts on March 13th. So Witherspoon will remain on the mound to face Arkansas here in the 8th. May have a pinch hitter here for the Hogs. Oh, Casey Opitz is going to bat for the first time. He came in the number 8 spot when Harris pinch hit for Plunkett.
He's been in a while,
right,
but hasn't had the opportunity to swing the bat. He takes a big cut at the first pitch from Nate Witherspoon.
Centennial, Colorado.
Opitz wears number 12, a 5'11 sophomore. Heritage High School in Centennial, Colorado. It lets that one go for ball 1.
222 average, 12 hits, 54 at-bats, has scored 14 runs, has 12 RBIs.
He has struck out 11 times. That one just barely misses for Nate Witherspoon. 2-1. Letter high, must have been just off the plate. Witherspoon winds and fires again. That pitch will paint the black on the inner third. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Witherspoon battling back against Opitz in his first plate appearance of the night. That one low and in to run the count full, 3-2. Talked about the difference in RPI between the Missouri Valley and the SEC. And Witherspoon whirls one by him and starts the inning out with a strikeout. As he catches Opitz, becoming a spectator. He just watches that one go by. Second strikeout so far for Witherspoon on the night. He came into the night with 6. Now will work against Christian Franklin, who'll bat from the right side. Witherspoon getting stronger as he goes here, Mike. Starts Franklin off with a strike.
He's better location on his pitch. Is not leaving him up in the strike zone. Throwing strikes, not walking batters.
Franklin 0 for 2 tonight. He started the night out with a strikeout. That one hit hard at Hull at short. Plenty of time to connect with Whetstone. 2 up and 2 down here for Witherspoon in the top of inning number 8.
So he sat down 4 in a row after giving up those 2 singles to the first 2 batters he faced in the 7th, in Fletcher and Goodhart.
So back to the top of the order, Casey Martin. Martin 1 for 3 tonight. Singled his first time to the plate, struck out his last time back in the top of the 7th. In the middle of that 3-run rally for Arkansas. Witherspoon starts him out with a first pitch strike. Not only is he locating the pitches better, but pitching from being ahead. Go ahead and get that first pitch over for a called strike. Witherspoon from the belt goes again. This one hit hard out into left field. Gia backing up toward the warning track. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Nate Witherspoon. No runs, no hits, no errors. As we continue on here in Springfield, Missouri, the Razorbacks on the road, up 4, 6-2 over Missouri State. Missouri State at home for 4 more after tonight. They will host the Kansas Jayhawks out of the Big 12 Wednesday night. Then turn around and get into Missouri Valley Conference play for the first time this season. They will host the red-hot Indiana State Sycamores. Then go on the road to the Red Hawks of Southeast Missouri State University for a non-conference date on April 2nd. Follow that up at the Racers of Murray State on April 3rd, and then go to Little Egypt, Carbondale, Southern Illinois for a 3-game set with the Salukis, April 5, 6, and 7. Missouri State will face a new pitcher here, Mike, in the bottom of the 8th inning. This is number 45, Kevin Copps.
6 foot, 200-pound redshirt junior from Sugar Land, Texas. Did not appear last year after undergoing Tommy John surgery. See his numbers this year, 9 appearances. The ERA sparkling at .75. 12 innings, 15 strikeouts, 4 walks. In his first appearance since 2017 after undergoing the Tommy John surgery on February 22nd at USC. Went 2 2/3 scoreless innings, gave up 3 hits, got his first win since May 12, 2017 after throwing 2 scoreless innings against Louisiana Tech March the 8th in a 4-2 victory for the Razorbacks. Had 1 appearance in the series at Alabama March 24th, going an inning and a third with 4 strikeouts. Struck out every Tide batter.
And he starts the Bears' third baseman, Joey Pollock, up with a well-placed fastball for strike 1. Copps, the young man out of George Ranch High School, sees Pollock foul his next offering off. Kopp redshirted in 2016, and then redshirted as a freshman, then gets a medical red shirt as a sophomore.
In 2017, he started game 1 of the Fayetteville Regional Final against Missouri State. June 4th of 2017, went 2 innings, 2 earned runs, 2 strikeouts in the 11-10 Razorback win.
1-2 the count between he and Pollock almost swings out of his shoes going for that one and strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. Pollock reached on a fielder's choice back in the 4th inning, but has been K'd 3 times tonight. This is Dakota Katowski, the Bears DH. Kopp working quickly, gets ahead in the count, 0-1. Katowski so far in this one, 2 for 3 with a pair of singles in the 4th and the 6th inning. Copps kicks and brings it home. Katowski puts it right back over the pitcher's mound. It bounces past a diving Casey Martin at short, and that's the 3rd single of the night for the Bears freshman DH.
He has 3 of the 6 hits for Missouri State.
Keith Gutton had nothing but good things to say when I asked him about what this young man brings to the lineup. That was hit him where they ain't. Martin had to dive, couldn't come up with it. Katowski, not even a smile or a smirk. All business over at first base. And now Jordan Fitzpatrick.
Katowski's dad played both baseball and basketball at Lewis University.
Fitzpatrick swing and a miss. Fastball in from Kopp. Well, does it surprise you? I mean,
no.
Look at the kid. He looks like he could play basketball too. Katowski stands 6'5", 225 from the land of Lincoln as Fitzpatrick blasts one toward the light tower, but it is just going to have warning track distance as Kerstad is there. I thought that one might go for a second, but Katowski retreats back to first base, and Fitzpatrick delivers a very loud, exciting out.
Kerstad just had to wait 30 minutes to come down.
Yeah, if he planed that one out, it would have been on top of the Bill Rowe training facility. This is Mason Hall now.
How about Copps coming back after Tommy John surgery? I mean, he's looking brilliant.
Yeah, and you just never know the way some of them respond. The mustache game, by the way, is epic.
Okay.
Say that the headshot they've got in here is this baby face kid, and then he looks like he's on the Atlanta Braves staff at about 89. Hull behind in the count, 0-2. Kopp wastes one into the dirt. Katowski still at first base. 2 outs here as Mason Hull works against Kevin Copps. Hull struck out in his first at bat tonight. Trying to improve on that 170 batting average. And Cops breaks contact, now stares back in at Casey Opitz. They agree on a pitch, and here it comes. Another hard thrown pitch, that one buried in the dirt again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Missouri State trails Arkansas by 4 runs here in the home half of inning number 8. Katowski takes his lead, and Hull swings wildly at this one, but Cops K's another. He struck out Joey Pollock to start the inning. He strikes out Mason Hull to end the inning, and we go to the 9th. Arkansas 6, Missouri State 2.
Mike McClure, Corey Riggs at Hammonds Field in Springfield. The Arkansas Razorbacks leading the Missouri State Bears 6-2 after 8 innings. As Gutton heading back to the Bears dugout. Missouri State had a 2-0 lead after 5 innings as starting pitcher Ben Cruikshank was brilliant. 5 innings pitched, no runs, 2 hits, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks, but the bullpen has struggled a little bit for the Bears tonight. Davis Schwab lasted just a third of an inning. Hayden Yinger, the 3rd pitcher. Nate Witherspoon, the 4th pitcher. As Arkansas will bring up the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to face Witherspoon here in the 9th inning. First pitch to Heston Kerstad, fouled for strike 1. Kerstad tonight flied out to left in the 1st, grounded out in the 3rd, grounded out in the 5th, and walked and scored in the 7th.
Even though he has had a rough night batting in the number 2 spot here in the Hogs lineup.
Again, Missouri State with the shift on, and Kerstad lifts this one deep to right.
His 5th home run of the season. And that is how, Mike, you forget about an 0 for 3 night at the plate. You erase it with one perfect swing and add another tally to the scoreboard here. One more look at it. That one's right over the plate. Witherspoon knew it. He spun and looked back over the shoulder. And this one just keeps carrying toward the Bill Rowe training facility, and all Fitzpatrick can do is watch it into the net.
Witherspoon giving up the leadoff home run to Kerstad here in the 9th. It is now 7-2 Arkansas. The Razorbacks with 7 unanswered runs. Trevor Ezell to the plate has walked twice, grounded out, and struck out. Takes ball 1.
Witherspoon's pitch count now up over 30. In the relief appearance tonight.
No activity in the Missouri State bullpen.
No, I think this is Mr. Witherspoon's to finish, with the score being what it is, and the Bears knowing they've got to turn around and play the Kansas Jayhawks here again tomorrow night. Arkansas, if you want to use 5 or 6 pitchers, you can, because you're done for the next couple of days.
2-1. Kerstad last year, 14 home runs, 58 driven in. So his 19th career home run as a Razorback. That's a little low. 3-1.
Back in there, Nate.
Ezell 0 for 2 tonight, but he's been walked twice in the 1st and the 7th inning. Look at Millis' setup here.
Hitting.
Millis had kicked that one leg out, set the mid up on the inner 3rd of the plate, and Ezell gets plunked with the pitch from Witherspoon. Now, I said that we had a hit by a pitch earlier in the game, but we ended up watching the replay, and that was wrong.
Dominic Fletcher, 2 for 3 tonight. Swinging a foul. Fletcher flat out to right in the 1st, walked in the 4th, had a bunt single, scored a run in the 6th, and had an RBI single and scored a run in the 7th.
That is the first hit batsman by a Missouri State pitcher. Jack Duffy was hit by a pitch back in the 5th inning.
Runner goes, and no throw by Millis.
Well, he lost the ball, Mike. It dropped out of his mitt and rolled behind him.
Stolen base for Ezel.
Not sure if it was dropped before he started to transfer it. No, he never had it. It hit right on the heel. Never made it in.
2017, Dominic Fletcher became the first Arkansas freshman to homer in his Razorback debut since Andy Wilkins did it in 2008. He had a home run in his first game against Miami of Ohio, February 17th of 2017. Ended up hitting 12 home runs his freshman year, 10 home runs last year as a sophomore. 4 so far this year. Arkansas 5-run lead here in the 9th. Pop foul behind the third base dugout.
Now this is a Razorback roster that has just continued to put players into the Major League Baseball draft every year, Mike. Continues to put players into the show. Names like Andrew Benintendi, Brian Anderson, Blake Parker. There's a laundry list of guys that are floating around AA, AAA.
Popped up. Mason Hull, the shortstop, retires Dominic Fletcher for the first out.
Benintendi with the Boston Red Sox, and I can remember him playing here at Hammonds Field. I can remember seeing him in his college career at Arkansas, and now with the Red Sox. Not a bad place to be.
Seems to like it there, okay. Here's Matt Goodhart. Actually, this will be a pinch hitter here for Arkansas. Jordan McFarland, junior out of Waterloo, Iowa, will bat. Takes ball 1.
McFarland, a 143 batting average. This is his 29th at bat of the season. He's got 4 hits, has scored 3 runs, collected 5 RBIs, and 4 total bases.
McFarland bats from the right side. Big swing and a miss. Trevor Ezel at second with 1 out. Leadoff home run by Heston Kerstad here to start the 9th inning, giving Arkansas the 7-2 lead.
We've seen a number of shots hit to the warning track tonight, but that was the first one to clear the wall.
Fouled out of play to the right. Nate Thompson, the coach at third, a former assistant coach here from Missouri State under Keith Gutton. Now in his 2nd season at Arkansas. Taylor Smart, the coach at first. That's hit pretty well to left field. Gia will have it played perfectly, makes the catch for the 2nd out. Ezel back to second with 2 away as McFarland flies out to left. And Jack Kenley will bat for the 5th time. Has struck out twice, has popped up and singled and scored.
A little bit of everything tonight from the number 6 hitter on the Razorback roster in this one.
Missouri State will have the bottom third of the order due up in the bottom of the 9th. Right now down by 5. Will flare into left field and down for a base hit. Ezel will score, and it's 8-2 Arkansas.
Kenley's 2nd single of the night ends up being an RBI as He is able to bring Ezel home with this little Texas leaguer, a blooper over the head of Mason Hull. Gia comes up with it, but knows that the throw is not going to beat Trevor Ezel to home plate. Does not offer at it. Instead, watches the 8th run of the game put on the board for the Hogs.
8 unanswered runs. Jacob Nesbitt is 1 for 4 as he steps in.
All of them have come from the 6th inning and on.
And all against Missouri State relief pitchers. Nesbitt a 2-run single back in the 6th. Kinley leads from first. 1-0.
Other games on the docket tomorrow involving Missouri Valley Conference teams other than Kansas at Missouri State at 6:30 tomorrow night include Valparaiso at Ball State, McMurray at Bradley, SIU Edwardsville at Evansville, Indiana.
Called strike to Nesbitt. See his average at 341, down 5 points from the start of play this evening. Swing and foul. How about former Bear Ryan Howard becoming an analyst for ESPN's baseball coverage this season?
It's fantastic. I talked to Keith Gutton about it. He said that ESPN had him on in a couple of different situations. The folks there had always talked about how well-spoken he was, how entertaining he was. And, you know, honestly, Ryan really didn't have a whole lot else going on at that point in time. I think he'll be a welcome addition to the baseball tonight crew as Witherspoon gets another strikeout.
However, Arkansas scores 2 runs in the 9th. The leadoff home run by Kerstad. Kinley drove in Ezel, and we'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Arkansas on top of Missouri State, 8-2. Arkansas Razorbacks are 3 outs away from victory number 21 on the season. They lead Missouri State 8-2. And the 7th pitcher of the night comes from the mound for the Hogs, and Elijah Trest.
4 appearances coming in 2 tonight with a 7.71 earned run average, 4 2/3 innings of work, and a strikeout to walk ratio that's on the good side. 5 strikeouts to 3 walks.
This has just been a perfect evening for Dave Van Horn. I mean, he's gotten multiple pitchers to get some innings in tonight. His offense has come alive off of Bears relief pitchers.
Barring a 6-run inning by Missouri State, he's gotten everything he wanted. He got a great amount of work for the pitching staff and a midweek win against the team with the 2nd toughest schedule in all of Division I college baseball. Trest, a righty, 6'3", 205-pound freshman out of White Oak, Texas. White Oak High School. Kids, it's 9:30. Probably got some sort of homework or maybe a book report due tomorrow. I don't know. Do they still do book reports?
That's a good question. Ben Whetstone will lead off the Bears' 9th. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Missouri State will be hosting the Kansas Jayhawks here tomorrow night at 6:30. Ball 1 to Whetstone. Called strike. 1-1.
I think Whetstone thought that one was a little bit below his knees, and I might agree with him.
Just missed. 2-1. Catches the inside corner, evens the count at 2-2. Trest appeared in Games against Louisiana Tech, Western Illinois, Texas, and Alabama. Grounded too short, knocked down by Martin, and the throw at first wide, and Whetstone reaches safely.
Did you see how fast, though, Casey Martin covered the ground between he and the bouncing ball as Whetstone reaches safely? Again, he had a walk earlier, and just no pressure. Martin knocks it down, reaches out, grabs it with his end of his glove, spins and throws, but just a little off the mark that time. Ezel couldn't keep his foot on the bag. Now that's going to be the first error of the night on Arkansas.
Jack Duffy to the plate. Popped up, hit by a pitch, and scored in the 5th and struck out in the 6th. Next ball 1.
Duffy, a product of Staley High School, former Staley Hawk. Trest, his senior year, Mike, went 11-1 with a 0.68 earned run average, 2 saves, 130 strikeouts, and 30 walks. Worked 3 no-hitters during the playoffs before his team fell in the regionals for White Oak High School in White Oak, Texas.
Pitch misses low. Whetstone at first, reaching on the air. Nobody out, bottom of the 9th. Bears down by 6. Three and 1.
Trest was a 2-sport athlete. His time at White Oak, also played football, recorded nearly 200 tackles over his final 2 seasons. And apparently he's working on his Cops impression mustache. There must be something about mustaches with the pitching staff for Arkansas.
6'3", 205. Yep, something's going on.
I'm noticing a pattern, Mike, in this Razorback bullpen.
Oh, past the second baseman, Kinley into right field.
Well, what have we here? 2 on and nobody out for Mo State, as Duffy hits one right at the second baseman. Kinley can't come up with that one. There you see some of the Missouri State parents. Nate Witherspoon's dad, Drew Millis's dad, among others in there.
John Privateer to the plate.
Were you waiting to see if they were going to put another error on the scoreboard?
Yeah, I was, but they ruled base hit for Duffy. Privateer takes a called strike. Privateer 0 for 2 with a sacrifice.
So Whetstone reaches on a throwing error. Could have been an error, but Duffy awarded a single. Now the Bear with the best batting average, batting in the 9-hole tonight with a chance to make it bases loaded and nobody out.
Two and 1. Three balls, 1 strike. Arkansas was 48-21 a year ago. National College runner-up. They played 69 games.
Crazy.
Ball 4 will load the bases.
Well, we talked about how Dave Van Horn would probably like the fact that his team has been able to work a lot of arms out of the bullpen tonight.
He's going to add another one to that total. He's already made the call to the bullpen.
This will be pitcher number 8 for the Hogs.
Matt Cronin.
Wicklander, Noland, Denton, Vermillion, Rampage, Copst, Trest, and now Cronin.
Junior out of Navarre, Florida, 6'2", 210, lefty. Cronin, how about this? ERA 0.00, 1-0 record, makes his 10th appearance. 10 innings pitched, no runs, 3 hits, 18 strikeouts, 5 walks. An opponent's batting average, .091. Has 6 saves, so little work for the Razorback closer here tonight in Springfield.
So everybody has their different routine to get into a game.
Yep.
That's a closer's mentality right there, Mike. I want you to slap me in the face.
We do it before every broadcast.
Mike's so happy when I let him slap me in the face before we start a game here.
Goodness gracious.
Holy cow.
Well, the numbers speak for themselves for Matt Cronin.
As a freshman in 2017, he appeared in 15 games. All of them were out of the bullpen. Ended up with a 3-1 record and a 2.0 earned run average, the lowest among all Razorback relief pitchers. That was as a freshman. As a sophomore, he appeared in 25 games, 2-2 record, a 3.54 earned run average, and garnered a school record 14 saves, breaking the previous record of 13 set by current student assistant coach Colby Suggs back in 2013. Those 14 saves that he got last year, Mike, tied for the second most in the SEC and 14th in the nation. He threw 48 1/3 innings, struck out 59 batters, and that was only good enough for 6th most on the staff. But he's not a starting pitcher. He's a reliever, a guy that's only supposed to work an inning or 2.
Suffered from a mild case of mononucleosis at the end of April, but came back to earn saves in 3 of his next 4 appearances heading into the College World Series.
Yeah.
Bases loaded for Missouri State, top of the order, Logan Gia, who's looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 3 with a walk.
Well, this is all about mindset here too, man. I mean, you've got a 6-run lead. You do not have to come in and be perfect right here. You have a cushion because of 3 multi-run innings, 3 runs in the 6th, 3 runs in the 7th, and 2 in the 8th, or 2 in the 9th, pardon me. You can make a mistake here, and it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, team high 4 home runs this year. Looks at ball 2. Good fastball, 2-1.
Gia has a career 5 home runs, 4 of those coming this season. The first and only one prior to that coming back in 2017. Logan's a junior.
Just outside. 3-1. Logan Gia, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs again, March 12th through the 17th. Jam there and fouled it back, 3-2.
I think the greatest compliment you can pay Logan Gia is the fact that head coach Keith Gutton will do whatever it takes to keep him in the lineup, to keep his bat in, to keep his leadership on the field, whether it's starting at catcher, starting in left field, playing second, DHing. This is a guy he wants in his lineup every day.
Payoff pitch. Popped up. Martin, the shortstop, gives way to the left fielder Franklin, who will make the catch for the first out. Bases loaded, one down for Drew Millis, who's 2 for 4 tonight. Throwback SMS number 2 jersey there.
That's solid. Mr. Marzola rocking the throwback uniform.
Millis 2 home runs this year, just 8 RBIs.
Mike, if I'm not mistaken, you're going to see Drew bat from
Correct.
the right side of the plate for the first time tonight.
Ball 1.
Switch hitter had taken every other at bat from the opposite side. You see what Drew has done tonight, 2 for 4. Singles in back-to-back innings in the 4th and the 5th, but he grounded into a double play to end the 7th inning.
To third, out at third, double play. Arkansas comes into Springfield, and after trailing 2-0, 8 unanswered runs, and the Hogs pick up their 21st win of the year as they knock off Missouri State 8-2.
Millis grounds into the second double play of the night. The first one ended the 7th inning. This one ends the 9th inning. And what could have been a high watermark moment for this Missouri State Bears baseball team when they led 2-0 ends up being a 8-2 loss to the 8th ranked Hogs.
Arkansas 8 runs, 10 hits, 1 error, 8 left. Missouri State 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error, 9 left. Arkansas now 21-4 with the victory. Missouri State falls to 5-17 with the loss. So for Corey Riggs, I'm Mike McClure saying so long from Hammonds Field in Springfield, Missouri, where the final score is 8th ranked Arkansas 8, Missouri State 2. All games